Welcome to Meadowbrook Memories podcast. I am Jelly, otherwise known as Glester Prince. My co-host is Hitchcock, otherwise known as Alfred Henry. Our mission on this podcast series is to explore the stories behind the magic that was created at Meadowbrook. In over a span of 4 years, between 1982 and 1986, we saw the transformation of a small co-educational school with less than 1,200 students, 800 girls and 400 boys, into a successful sports and scholastic champions, winning 7 major trophies, 3 Sunlight Cup, 2 Topping Cup, 1 Walker Cup, and 1 Nutriment Shield. And to crown these achievements, Meadowbrook also produced 2 Rhodes Scholars, Cavell Creighton in 1987 and Andrea Wright in 1989, both graduates of Meadowbrook in 1983. In this podcast series, we will be speaking to persons, both males and females, who are actively involved in this incredible journey, along with friends and family and staff at Meadowbrook, which inspired the environment that created this golden era. We hope you enjoy our discussion. Please give us as much support and encouragement that you can on whatever social media platform you are listening. Welcome and thanks for joining us. Hello, this is Jelly, your Meadowbrook Memories host. Would you like to know how Meadowbrook won 7 trophies in 4 years in the 1980s? Purchase a copy of my book, The Startling Surprise for a Friend, a Relative, or a Student at Meadowbrook. Thank you. Check the link below. Today is Wednesday, January 3rd, 2024. And welcome back to another conversation about Meadowbrook Memories. Me as usual, Glester, our Lance, our Prince, our Jelly, and by now you know that any one of those names will do. Joining me for a very special conversation tonight, the first one for 2024, is the one and only Margaret Livermore, who have been co-hosts on these conversations on a number of occasions. And if you want to hear Margaret Meadowbrook Memories in her own words, go back and listen to episode number 22. A link will be in the description box for Margaret episode. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button while listening to Margaret Meadowbrook Memories. The first of our 2 guests started Meadowbrook in 1977. I was the youngest of 3 sisters who lived near Bottomfield, so that will be interesting to get their perspective. This was a great tradition of Meadowbrook while I attended, because it always looked like somebody have a brother or sister coming to Meadowbrook at the same time. This guest will also have a unique perspective because she left Meadowbrook after 3rd form for another school, and our comparison of both schools should be interesting during this conversation. Our next guest started Meadowbrook in 1971, which means she started Meadowbrook the year before my brother started in 1972, and 2 years before my sister left in 1972. And I'm looking forward to her perspective of what Meadowbrook was like in those days, as I started Meadowbrook in 1974. So, without further ado, Meadowbrook Memories welcome Valerie, Hucey, and Maureen Lopez to the conversation. So, introduce yourself first, Valerie.
Hi, everyone. Valerie Hucey. I left Meadowbrook Prep in 1976-77 year, was successful with common entrance and entered 1st form at Meadowbrook High, joining my sisters who joined 4 years before. I went to 1D. Just a quick run through. We'll go through teachers and all of that. Had some interesting I guess interactions as well as experiences that really has carried me right through to now. I lived kind of in the shadow of my sisters, but I carved my own path for myself outside of the both of them. But of course, it was nice to be always kind of protected. I share a lot of their memories because I would hear them talking, I would pass by their classrooms, etc. Went to Immaculate in 1980 and left upper 6 Immaculate or grade 13 Went on to UWE. I had an interesting career, probably about 4 different careers. Flew after university. I did an outside degree. Flew with Air Jamaica. After that, from 87 to 92, entered the pharmaceutical industry as a rep. Moved around probably about 2 or 3 times, with mergers, etc. And actually left in December 2017 after a 25-year career in the pharmaceutical industry, from rep straight to sales manager for the Northern Caribbean. Migrated very early 2018, and I've been living in Florida since. I come back home rather. I'm here in Jamaica now, because home is home.
Mm-hmm.
And very happy to have listened to, I would say, about 6 or 7 of the Meadowbrook Memories podcast. Very, very, very interesting. As a little hesitant, Glaster, because I'm saying, what do I have to offer? Just 3 years there. But, I'm very happy that Maureen is joining, because then she knew my sisters very well, and they're still in touch. Well, not with Judith, sorry, but I mean Joan, and we'll hear about that later. But that is part of the legacy of a strong friendships that were bonded there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I know more about it, man. Some people come Meadowbrook for 1 year and for them story full up a whole page. So yeah, 3 years I will value. Trust me. Just memories plenty. And you, Maureen, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Maureen Lopez. I started Meadowbrook back in 1971, coming from Southermere Prep. I repeated first form because I was a sickly child. I was asthmatic. So you find most of my younger years was spent at the hospital. So I had to repeat first form and graduated in 1978.
Mm-hmm.
When I left Meadowbrook, I worked at Ministry of Social Security for about 5 years and then went into the insurance industry. And that's pretty much where I found my niche. Insurance, doing health, group life, personal accident, pensions. I migrated recently. Well, put it this way, I've been in Florida for a few years now, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
While I was at Meadowbrook, I met Joan, and Judith were my pares, and then Valerie came along and she left early. And it's a friendship that, as Valerie stated, is up until now, and we're friends for life.
Yeah.
Sisters from another mother.
Yeah, man. We'll get to know that. I'm curious. But you said something there, Maureen.
Yeah.
I was looking for you in the yearbook. I wouldn't have seen you in the year I'm looking for them, because most of your pictures then would have been with the class of 72.
Yes, I saw the year. And listen, I don't have a yearbook, and I've always wanted one. Didn't know how to get in touch with anyone that would enable me to, but you did.
Mm-hmm. Are you in the book?
And I appreciate that. I was laughing when I looked at the pictures. I went right back down memory lane. I was back at school.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have to look back. I was looking in the wrong year. When you say you repeated first time, I realized what I didn't see in the year I'm looking for. So yeah.
She's in
Yeah.
class with Judith, Joan and Judith. I think in the 2A1, her picture is in that book. In 74 or 74, 75, I think.
Yeah. Should have been in a third farm when I came there then. That's what I mean. And Joan and Judith would have been in second farm. So yeah. Yeah, thanks, Maureen. So Margaret, introduce yourself quickly. Unmute Margaret. Margaret?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm.
Good evening again. I'm Margaret Livermore, class of 83. I was at school with some of you ladies, but I honestly don't remember you. And I was trying to look in the magazine to see if I could find your pictures to jog my memory, but I couldn't find any. Again, I was looking in the wrong
year, yeah.
the
Wrong
year.
year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
so curious to hear your perspective, especially the lady who left in third form. Looking forward to hearing what, your experience was like.
Yeah, man, I'm curious to get into that, but yeah.
Yes, and especially like how you left and went to an all-girls school, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very curious.
Yeah. Yeah, man, yeah. But by now, we start with a certain question, and I'm going to start with you first, Valerie. Did you choose Meadowbrook or Meadowbrook chose you?
I absolutely 110% chose Meadowbrook High. That was my first choice. And the St. Andrews, I just kind of, sorry to any St. Andrews people listening, but I could just kind of just put that in. But really and truly, I had no intentions of going anywhere else. Meadowbrook High was my first choice.
Mm-hmm. And why? Because your sisters them went there?
Three things. First of all, my sisters went there, yes. Secondly, it was a kind of practical transition. And thirdly, we lived in the area. I moved to the area. I don't even remember any other houses, because I moved to the area, I think, between 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
And so we lived there right to adulthood,
Mm-hmm.
So it was just, and for me, a practical, natural transition. You walk to school, walk home for lunch, sports days just down the road, it was natural for me.
I remind me, Valerie, where you used to live again? On the road where carry to Bottomfield?
Yes.
We lived on
Yes.
Meadowway. So
Meadowway.
you came on off Meadowbrook Avenue, you turn right onto Michigan Avenue. If you continued, you go straight into Bottomfield on the left. But our road was
On the right.
So we turned right on Meadowway. We're at number 12 with Delia Brown, same road as
House
Delia
on the
Brown,
left.
Camille McLeod, Bridget Osang.
Yes, I remember Delia Brown as they call her name. Yes.
And Gary and Paul Salesman was at the corner, right at the corner, before you turned for us. And then years later, we went very far away, in inverted commas, and moved across the road.
And a gully, remind me, a gully was in the middle of the road, right?
A gully was there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember, man. Remember, you will see that. So you, Maureen, did you choose Meadowbrook or Meadowbrook chose you?
Well, my folks really chose Meadowbrook because what happened is where the area, just like Valerie said, the area where I was living is closer to Meadowbrook than having to go anywhere else. And so Daddy and Mom they were the ones I would say Meadowbrook chose me.
Oh, then pick Meadowbrook for you?
By way of parents, yeah.
So what year are you living at the time, Maureen?
Up off Constant Spring Road, going up Stony Hill.
Okay.
Stillwell Road, East Oak Ridge.
Yeah, man, I know exactly where
that's Manor Park area. So it's easier.
Yeah.
It was closer to Meadowbrook than anywhere else.
Yeah. So I never picked that famous school across the road. Our daddy never want to go there, so.
Look, parents choose.
Mm-hmm.
And whichever school that you could get into, that's what happened. And I ended up at Meadowbrook, and I'm not sorry I did.
No, none of us.
I'm not sorry I did.
Yeah, I hear you. So Valerie, you used to come on the campus before, can you say you used to come Meadowbrook Prep, right?
Yes.
So
I used to come sometimes. I walked through and waited on Judith and Joan.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, by the way, we call her Hopi at home. So I'm conscious that I'm on the Meadowbrook podcast, and most people, 99% of people know her as Joan, but we call her Hopi. That's her middle
name.
Okay, our nickname.
Well, it's actually a nickname from her middle name.
Yeah, like me, right?
Funny.
Yeah, everybody call me. Yeah.
When people call the house, you just automatically switch. So if they call and say, may I speak with Joan? And you say, hold on, Hopi. And they say, do you have another sister? They always thought it was four of us.
Yeah.
No, it's the same person.
Yeah, I know that name thing that goes. Like, living at Pembroke, everybody know me as Lance, which is my middle name, Lancelot. So
Oh.
anywhere I go now, people say Lance. I know say more than likely a Promocall person. Nobody
Mhm,
a Promocall know
mhm,
about as a Glaster, as you call me tonight.
mhm,
So yeah.
mhm.
So I know exactly what you're talking about. So yeah. So you used to come on the campus before you even start Meadowbrook then?
Yes, yes. And then I had this kind of privileged attitude
Mm-hmm.
because from Meadowbrook Prep, because I had older sisters. I remember there's this art teacher. Who do you remember her name? Miss Michaels. Miss Michaels. I used to just come in because, of course, I'm coming from kindergarten and grade one, whatever. I dropped my bag in the classroom. She had my finger paints ready. This was prep school, I know, but then I came over with this kind of privileged attitude that my sisters are here, and I came over with my satchel or school bag or whatever. I would
Mm-hmm.
drop it wherever I felt like and waited on my sisters with
Mm-hmm.
a kiss cup up, probably in hand.
Mm-hmm. 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 So
So
what it felt like I go to a school in the era where I live, because I walk to school. What did it
yes,
feel like in the early days?
I thought it was really. I mean, those days you had no fear of safety. You know,
Yes,
it was.
true.
There's one time the reason why I started waiting on them, because even though I was young, I would walk home. You never had no road to cross. You come out of Middlebrook Prep and you walk straight home. You're
Mm-hmm.
going past Whitney Drive. You're going Springburn first. I mean, I'm on the right side of the
You're
road,
right.
right?
So you
And
don't have to cross the
Right.
road at all, yeah.
you pass Whitney Drive. You walk on Meadowbrook Avenue, past the Ramsey them on the left, Sharon Demarcado was on the right.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Right.
Go all the way down to Michigan Avenue, stay on the right, turn again on the right, and you're home. So there was nothing about, oh my gosh, you're a mine or whatever. But guess what? Guess why I stopped? There's this dog named Castro. No, you have to understand. I was deadly afraid of dogs because a dog rushed me one day. He didn't bite me, and I've never gotten one since, because I don't play by people who say, oh, the dog is not going to bite
The
you, then
dark
them have
kind,
teeth,
yeah.
right? So you don't know what they're up to. So anyway, Mr. Castro now. You laughing, Joan laughing. We lived at 12, and where was Castro hoping? Number 8. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
2 houses from Meadoway. I saw Castro in the road, and I turned right back and walked straight back to Meadowbrook. I waited on Joan and Judith. I said I nearly reached home,
So what kind of dog was Castro? How big was he?
I don't even know the dog. I don't know. Just one little Kumujin dog. One day, what to say? One time, right? Castro was so disgusting. I mean, yes, I'm a dog lover, but at that time, no. Castro had, the tasty cheese pan them.
Mm-hmm.
Castro, did he jump for the fence, Soapy? Him thief a cheese pan from somebody's house and jump over the fence with the cheese tin. And I swear, I have never seen a dog cut them eye after people before.
Oh
Castro
my
cut him eye
gosh.
after me that day. And I say, come after me today. And I walked straight back to school. Oh, by the way, one of the things you have to remember too. Remember Bruce Lindo house?
Yeah, man, Brucey, yeah.
Had plum tree, you see?
Yeah.
So you had to stop now and get reinforcements to pick up more plum.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another reason that was good for me to wait on Judith and Joan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we just read the plum tree. Well, most of them they drop on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
And go home.
So you, Maureen, I've never heard about Meadowbrook before you started then. What was the first impression you got when you came on the Meadowbrook campus in a 71?
Bag of nerves, because I was just a wee lass coming from Southern Prep. You entering high school, you new people, the culture is different. So I was a bag of nerves. And being asthmatic is one of the symptoms of nerves. And when you are thrown or you're going into a new environment, something that you've never experienced before. But with Mr. Thorpe, the headmaster. Oh, he was a gem. The transitioning period and with the other teachers, it was just great. Yeah. And I got over it quickly. And being a people person, I was right at home.
So what's some of the friends that you remember when you just come Meadowbrook, Maureen?
Well, Shonda Mercado, Joan, Hucey, Judith, Robert Scott, Roger Mullings, Martin Brown. Names I'm bad with, faces I will remember. Mark Della Penna, Garth Della Penna, the three Della Pennas, and you had Max Wibby, Garth Wibby. Garth was the older brother.
Yeah.
Robert Shim. Marlon Gooden, Patrick Rochester, Anthony Seixas, Teresa Wright, Minerva Thame, Andrea King, yeah.
You remember a whole heap of people, Maureen? You have a good memory.
Exactly, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
That you say you don't remember names, but that's a lot. You
That's
did a
a
good
name,
job,
Maureen, remember, man. Yeah.
Thanks.
And most of those names you call, I remember most of them. Most of them I remember.
Okay.
I do too, so that means I must know you as well.
Yeah.
When you started Meadowbrook, Margaret?
In 78.
That's a year after me. So I must know your face, Margaret. Because it's the same for me.
Yeah, and you started 77, Valerie. And full disclosure, Margaret, and you have something in common in a Maureen.
Yeah?
Yes, you need to listen to Margaret podcast. Mr. Top was our first crush.
Her first crush.
You know what, Maureen? All I said in my podcast, right, was that Mr. Thorpe called my name in a very beautiful way. Oh, he would always see me and say, "Hello, Margaret Angela," and his major crush. Them tease me every day about it.
But Margaret,
but no, it's not a crush I had. It's just that Mr. Thorpe commanded respect. Absolutely. He never drove fear. He was a reasonable man. He was an excellent headmaster. He ran that school well. And he's disciplined. He's a very disciplined man. But he never drove fear in the students unless you know you are a troublemaker and you're going to meet his wrath. Especially if he has spoken to you maybe once or twice, but a third time,
The boys tend to differ about that, Maureen. So no.
I don't know, the girls too. Hello, I have a story, but I'm waiting my turn.
Yeah.
No, but because hear what happened. No, let me give you a story with me and Mr. Thorpe. Because I'm outspoken and I don't take crap from anyone. Anytime things happen and I happen to be there and bear witness, they tend to call on me because I'm going to tell it like it is. So I give you one instance. Joan.
Yes, say it. No, say it louder.
Joan.
It's true, Tuesday. You're right. 100%.
Yeah, you remember, is it Brian Johnson? I think he was running for prefect, for head boy.
Right.
I don't remember what form, was it third or fourth form, but he picked on our class every morning after assembly and every lunchtime. And he would be at our class. And you have the troublemakers. When the bell rings, you're supposed to quiet down because class going to start. And our form was a noisy bunch of kids. And he would come in and put everybody in detention.
What's it, Brian Brown or Brian Johnson?
It's not Brian Johnson.
I know it's a Brian. And he's dark
And
and wore
It's maybe
glasses.
Brian Brown or Derek
I think
Johnson. Brian Johnson had an older brother named Derek.
Andre.
No, it's not Derek. It's a Brian.
It's Brian
It's
Brown
Brian.
then,
I
I
even
think.
saw him. I even saw him in the yearbook. The picture
I think it's
of him.
Brian Brown, Maureen, yeah.
Brown.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cause
okay.
he was the head boy. I didn't even remember until I saw. I didn't remember,
Did
but
he get it?
yeah, man, yeah.
Well,
Our deputy. I don't remember
listen
what
up.
it was. Yeah.
He picked on our class every day religiously.
Mm-hmm.
And when 2 o'clock come and class over, my father is parked outside waiting for me to come.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh my God, what am I going to tell Daddy now when I go out there to him and say that we're in detention? And I got ratted on Brian and said, listen, my father car door run off. So guess what? You can't keep the class, but I'm leaving and I pack up my bag and I'm gone. Well, next day, he carried me up to Mr. Thorpe. You know how much time that boy carried me up to Mr. Thorpe office? So when Mr. Thorpe see me come in the morning now, Mr. Thorpe said, oh, you again? But it's not me, It wasn't me he was referring to. It was Brian.
Oh.
So I just said, yeah. So I said to Mr. Thorpe, it's not me, sir. This gentleman come to the class every morning and every lunchtime and decide that that we must stay in for detention. I said, Mr. Thorpe, my father coming from downtown, car don't run off a PISS.
No.
Yes.
You said,
That's me. That's me. I tell it like it is because that's what Daddy said. Daddy always call and say, you take my car off. So I give it, so I get it, so I sell it. No profit on it. And so Mr. Thorpe just say, get out. And because this guy is trying to get this position, but that's not the way
he
you
might
go
try to
about
build
it.
stripes. I get you.
Yeah, you understand? And I just had enough. So anytime him come into the classroom to keep us in, and I'm out.
Yeah. Interesting. So Valerie, who are some of the friends that you remember when you just started Meadowbrook in 1977?
Okay, so because I came from Meadowbrook Prep, most of the students were spread right across.
Mm-hmm.
So we weren't streamed, and I knew that for sure. So I came over with people like Derek Smith, Susan Elliott, Camille Ramsey, right? They were like in 1A.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had, I know in my class, I think Andre Anderson was in 1B from Meadowbrook Prep. So I already knew them. 1C had Bridget Hosang. And my class had Nigel Chisholm. And I think only Nigel. I don't have the yearbook in front of me, and unfortunately, I'm doing this from my phone because my idea was to have up the laptop. But I said, you know something, let me just do it because I'll be with Joan in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can't remember everybody offhand, and I'm afraid to switch, and next thing I'll go get cut off.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, who did I? Monique Stennett was in my class. She didn't come from Meadowbrook Prep. But one of the things that I would say was an advantage for us in terms of friendships, because we live so relatively close to school.
Mm-hmm.
People who lived far away, they used to come to our house and wait on their parents. And the days I didn't even think about a phone, a regular house phone. But you just know that you're safe at the Hucey's house. So I know, like in Judith's there, I think Jackie Francis came over 1 or 2 times, like when you have prize giving or something, and you have to stay late. Denise Millwood came over too, hoping.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My friends, it was people like Monique Stewart and Monique Stennett. And Monique could be interesting. Monique is in Thailand now. I just hooked up with her on Facebook the other day. I remember Dwight Stewart. A couple of times he would come, and his dad or wherever he'd arrange to meet him. And my house was safe because I had an at-home mom.
Mm-hmm.
You're either on the veranda, especially if you're a boy, the street girl, my mother never played, or you're at the dining table having dinner with us.
Yeah. It wasn't unsupervised. Somebody, adult was there all the time. Yeah.
An adult,
All
yeah.
the time. And
Yes.
And my mother was very vocal.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that little pretty one named Joan Hucey? You see that gully wall there? You know what? I don't even want to say it like that. Let me use the term crows. The boy them used to line up and sit down on the gully bank to get a glimpse of Miss Beauty here, right? So I remember at one point, I thought this was a lucrative business because no, not like that. I wanted to place like first. They realized they had to come through me because I was a little bully.
Yeah.
I got from Miss Hamburger, hot dog.
Wait till them had to come through you.
Oh yes. And then my mother them the days, the fancy door you have in a Meadowbrook, and it was a ply door.
Yes.
My mother found out that the plyboard was a very good duplicate for chalkboard. Mommy get a piece of chalk. I wrote on the front door, "No idlers allowed."
Oh my gosh.
I see because the house are close to Bottomfield, I can bet everybody want to go to Bottomfield after pass in the house. I can make. Can remember you set the shortcut, come through the.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there's another set now that when you remember, you could also go on the other road and cut the people who live like Sunnyfield, Chevy Chase, etc.
Yeah.
They would also cut through another shortcut that was right across from across the gully.
Yeah, man, I carry to Bard Avenue. Yeah, man.
Get back out to Havendale.
Yes.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
No, yeah, man. So what's some of the teachers that you remember now, Valerie?
Oh Lord. Well, I had to get tissue after I listened to Miss Nevin's Zone when I hear my name called. So Sonia Nevins, she made me love math. It started there, right? And I'm going to fast forward to Immaculate, just going back and forth, because I remember, because I was trying to connect the two, because I figured it would come up. And I remember being in a math class in 10th grade, because remember I entered 10th grade. That's the first culture shock. So I'm coming from 4 grades of 9th grade, and then I went to Immaculate and had 1047, 1048, 1049, 1050. We had 5 10th grades, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I went in 1051. I remember my math teacher, I think she asked me to either come up to the board or answer a question. I was very, very new. And when I worked out the problem, she said, "Who taught you that?" And I said, "That's how I've always learned it, and that's what I remember." And it must have been something, from either first form or second form, etc. Some of the Immaculate girls had never heard of Meadowbrook. Some of them knew of some of the boys. Like the first thing would say, so-and-so. So Margaret, the first thing, going back and forth, I was not boy crazy when I went to Immaculate. I remember when boys used to come on campus, the whole place would go up in a furor. I'm like, "Oh, boys, okay, fine." But some of them were coming from Immaculate Prep, which was all girl as well.
Yeah.
So
There you go. That's right.
To all girl high. For me, it was always co-ed,
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have that challenge at all. So I remember Miss Nevins. I remember Miss Valerie Nelson taught me Spanish from prep school because I had a very good relationship. So I started Spanish, I think, from grade 5. So I remember she was Valerie Brown, right to Nelson.
Yeah, she was Brown before. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I remember Miss Brown Drummond.
Yeah, she got married named Drummond after a while. She used to teach English.
Right.
Yes, yeah.
And I remember that conversation we had as well in class when she said, "I'm Miss Brown," and everybody's like, "Hold on." That was the first thing when she said, "You have an option. You don't have to take, your husband's name." Miss Arboyne or Miss Lysett, Mrs. Lysett.
Yes, Miss Airborne, yes, our first teach art, yes, and Mrs.
She's an art teacher, Boyne, yes.
Yes. She got married named Mrs. Lysett afterwards, yeah.
And Miss Bowes, I think they shared being my classroom teacher. I going through now, so that was first form. Second form, I think Mr. Nairn was my homeroom teacher, Lloyd Nairn.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot Miss Williams. Miss Williams taught me Spanish in first form. That was, I think she's an old girl as well. I think she was Mikey Deitch's sister.
Yeah, man, she's an old girl. She used to come with Mikey Deitch's sister. Yes, you're right about that, yeah.
Right. Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Then McCoy, I think, for chemistry. Was it Miss McCoy? She used to live across from the church. on Flemington Drive.
Yes, the little slim lady.
Yes, and she had
Yeah, Miss
natural
McCoy.
hair,
Mm-hmm.
very
Yeah.
proper. Not that anybody was improper, but very proper. Miss Gooden, that's another
Yes.
story again. I'm going to
PE teacher.
Yes, but
Yes.
she taught me geography.
Yes, you teach geography as well. Yes, yes, yes.
Literally, that woman gave us a lesson on rivers. I never forget it. I never forgot it. And I remember going into a class because we had a teacher at Immaculate that she used to spring pop quiz on us. She was also the vice principal. And so if you never read over your notes, you're salty, you know. She gave a pop quiz on river. Me never catch a rake yet that you have to read over your notes yet. I was too new. But I got like 100%. Guess why? The rivers was properly planted on my grey matter by Miss Gooden.
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. Ho sang for art. I remember Mr. Ho sang. But there were other teachers that were there. Miss Barbara never taught me. That's Helen Bromley. She never taught. I don't remember. Mr. Gooden. Mr. Gooden taught me physics. Miss Melody Russell, R.I.P.
Yeah,
Miss,
yeah, she became.
And she was also an old girl, I think.
I think so too. I think, and she was guidance counselor after a while too. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And I think that's it. Oh, Mrs. Owen. Remember when the Welsh, Scottish, English teachers came?
Yeah, man. Yeah, Mrs. Owen. Yes.
Owen taught me English in. Yeah, but Mr. Sherrington taught you, right?
Yeah,
Mr. Sherrington.
Right. So Miss Owen, she was Welsh, I remember. So what was really nice as well is to get from all these countries, because at the time I've never traveled, but I've never forgotten like some of the accents. I remember there's this other one, I can't remember her name. She was from Scotland, I think, and she'd say, "You silly cookie."
What you taught, Valerie?
If what?
What did she teach?
No, PE. I don't know what.
Oh, okay.
Netball. I remember her picture is in the yearbook, but I just can't remember the name now. Yeah. I remember Audrey was in my class, man. Audrey was getting fed up of this stupid netball. We throw a ball at one another. Audrey, give the ball a kick, you see? Give her detention. You don't kick balls on my court.
In her accent, yes.
Man, I think that is when she said, "You silly cookie." So I think that's basically it for me for the teacher.
So you, Maureen, what some of the teachers that you remember when you just started?
Miss Jenkins, she was my first form teacher, and she was a hip teacher. You remember back in the days I had Skateland in Halfway. She took the class there to Skateland, and yes, and that's where I learned to roller skate because of Miss Jenkins. She would do these little trips for us to go on, and skating. So Miss Jenkins, I remember Mrs. Millwood. She taught us math. She was an excellent math teacher, and then she changed and did guidance counseling. I think when I was in fourth form. Yeah, and then you had Miss Bowen. She was the art teacher. Miss Hall. She took over from Mrs. Millwood in teaching us math. You had Mr. Sherrington. I think he was our English teacher. You remember Patsy Hassan, our dance teacher?
Oh, you said that. I remember.
Pansy Hassan.
Yes.
Oh, she had a dance class there,
She passed out. She tried, May her soul rest in peace.
Yes.
And you had Diane Fitchett. She was music teacher. You remember her?
Yes, and the speech teacher, Mrs. Fitchett.
Miss Fitchett.
Diane Fitchett.
Yeah, man, I remember her. Yeah, Mrs. Fitchett.
Okay.
And she was a speech teacher then, music and speech.
Yes. And then you had Mrs. Johnson.
Yes.
Then she taught. There was who taught us biology.
Mrs. Leo Riney.
No, there was another teacher. I remember.
I know
Mrs.
you're talking, Maureen. Miss Nugent.
Thank you, Miss Nugent. Yes. Miss Nugent.
Yes.
Mrs. Mason. You had Miss Headlam.
Yeah, Mrs. Mason taught Spanish. Yeah, Miss Headlam taught chemistry. Yeah.
And you had Miss Madeline that taught Spanish too.
Yeah.
And then you had Mr. Honor. He was an Englishman himself who taught us geography.
Geography.
And Mr. Chin, Mr. Gooden. And there was this teacher from India who took over from Mrs. Millwood and Miss Hall. Now, I don't know if Joan will remember this story, but I have to tell you this story. Her name was Mrs. Menon, straight from India. So oftentimes she comes into the class. This was mock exams now, okay? And oftentimes she comes in, and even those who weren't very good at math was correcting her work. Yeah, oftentimes. So one day, she realized that the class more or less frustrated when even those, the brightest of the brightest who were great at maths, was just fed up. So anyway, she came in one day. Now, you know, the classrooms have 2 doors.
One at the front and one at the back. Yeah.
Thank you. And it's about how many in each class? Maybe 30?
25, 30, yeah. 25, 30, yeah.
Well, Miss Menon walked in one day and she put her book on the table and she addressed the class. And she said, and I quote verbatim, "For those who wish to do maths, remain in the classroom. And who do not wish to do maths, please leave." Let me tell you now, Prince, everybody
leave the classroom
because they couldn't believe what you were saying. So one of the students said, "Miss, repeat that, please." And she proceeded to do so. "For those who want to do maths, remain in the classroom, and those who don't want to do maths, please leave." Well, let me tell you, all 30 of us in the classroom looked at each other and we all got up one time and bolted through the 2 doors one time, disrupting the whole of Meadowbrook. Disrupt the entire school. Because remember, it's metal desk and concrete. Let me tell you, it was something. This laughter spoiled. Them had to pick me up out of the chemistry lab because I was on the floor, rolling in laughter, crying, bawling from laughter because of what this teacher came in and said. When Mr. Thorpe heard the commotion, Mr. Gunn come into the classroom, other teachers, because something happened. Something horrific must have happened. Anyway, Mr. Thorpe got wind as to what was what took place. So he told the prefects to round up the class and we're to go back in the classroom. And I say, "Yes, this is it. We're in trouble now." So everybody is back in the classroom and we're sitting there waiting because he's going to come now and do the investigation. Yeah. So he comes in. You know how he's in his suit and quite upright, ready to, like a sergeant. So he comes in and he looks and he says, "Class." That time I'm there looking straight ahead. He's at the door. I'm not paying him any mind because I didn't do anything wrong. So he says, "You stand up and tell me what took place." So I keep quiet. I couldn't be me. So you have Alan Gooden to the right. You have Sharon Demakala to the left. Yeah. So, "Maureen, is you Mr. Top? Is that can't mean that she never call my name?" Everybody said, "Maureen." So I just kept quiet and say, "Yes, you that is turning around, looking at you are the one. Stand up and tell me." I said, "Me, Mr. Top? You want me to stand up and tell you what happened?" And say, "Yes, stand." So I stood and I said, "Okay, so this is how it went. Mrs. Menon came into the classroom, put her math book on the desk, and she addressed the class by saying, and I did it in her
In
accent.
the Indian accent,
I
yeah.
hope I can't laugh again. And of course, Mr. Thorpe rolled his eyes.
Yeah.
And, only Maureen would do something like this. And I said, Mr. Thorpe, and these were her words, all those who wish to do maths remain in the classroom. And all those who don't want to do maths, please leave. And Mr. Thorpe, we all left. One time. Through those two doors at which you're standing at one. And that's what happened. Now, the reason why I'm calling me, I'm going to get it like it is. You understand?
Yeah, I'll give the full 100, yeah.
Putting anything, yeah.
Yeah.
And would you believe, so Mr. Thorpe put us in detention, give us detention for justice.
You exercised your choice.
Huh?
You all exercised your choice. You were given a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. We paid for that choice, which wasn't ours. You gave us a choice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one part of my life, and that incident I'll never forget.
You never forget that at all, Maureen.
No, I'll never forget it.
Yeah, I think Martin and Gary come and talk about that each other too, And
yes, man.
And there was that incident with her too, yes. With George Ralph, yes.
Oh, no, hold on. Oh. There were two teachers, There was Miss Bartlett.
Miss Bartlett we're talking about, yes. Yeah, thank you, Valerie.
Bartlett.
Yes. Yeah.
With Courtney Marks, who said he could mimic her Sri Lankan accent.
Yeah.
But there was something, because I listened to Judith and Joan talking, and most times I was around them, Courtney possibly did not remember what he did one day when he came from 1B, not 1B, it would have been what, 2B to 2A. Courtney, this is what I remember. What's it, Courtney Marks? He said, Hopi. He came to the door and went, Hail Buddha. He said, what do you want? I come to borrow the duster. I was waiting for that joke because I remembered it from what I heard.
You probably remember it.
And just remember the Chinese sweet.
The Chinese sweet one, yeah. Yeah. But let me ask you something though. Let me ask you a quick question because I don't want to forget it because your sister no longer here with us. Judith Joan is here and Judith.
Yes.
They weren't twins.
Right. They weren't twins. They were what you call Irish twins. They were born the same year and they were both full term. Judith was the February 15th and Joan was December the 19th.
Okay.
Wow.
1962. They were born the same year. Mm-hmm. Mommy's excuse, well, first of all, when everybody found out in the class that they were that close, they called my father Trevor the Great. I was on the veranda with Mommy. By that time, Judith and Joan were working, so I was still in school. And the lady from the census came and she said, can you write down everybody who live in the house and whatever? When Mommy wrote down their dates of birth, the lady handed her back the paper and said, you made a mistake. So Mommy just rolled her eyes and said, no, I didn't. She said, no, you have the same year for the two girls.
Yes.
Mm.
He said, it's correct. So now I can talk because, both Mommy and Judith are gone and neither of them, Mommy can't pinch me anymore. So when I asked Mommy how that did work, she said they were living in Mandeville and there was no entertainment. No TV. I thought you were going to school. And it was cold.
Yes, Mandeville, yes.
Oh my God.
Always cool, yeah.
That is Kirkvine. And so they were living in Williamsfield. So actually, Joan was born in Williamsfield, right? Yeah. You weren't born there? Oh, she came to Kingston she came to Kingston to have her.
She was conceived in Williamsfield.
I guess so.
And William
without
feel
the
cold. I
TV.
know, but William feel. That bus who broke down one night. It was very cold. So I know. I know. But talk about your sister a little bit, Valerie. And I want you to talk about Judith to Maureen. When you first met them, and because she's not here, I want to talk about fair memories. What was she like? And if Joan want to chime in, I want to talk about Judith a little bit. I know Joan.
Let me go first
Yeah, go ahead,
because
Maureen. Yeah.
in terms of a person, the individual that she was like a mother hen. You see, when Joan, she watched over us like a mother hen. And if she sees something that you're doing that don't sit well with her, she would come up to your side and nudge you and say, hey, can I think that, man? That kind of, she's always very protective.
Mm-hmm.
She was your friend, and you could rely on her if you needed in whatever it is. Judith is right there.
Mm-hmm. So when you first met her, Maureen, in first farm or second farm, or when you repeat first farm?
I don't even remember.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Okay.
Honestly.
Okay. Any special memories of her at Meadowbrook before I go to Valerie and Joan and Hope? Sorry.
No, nothing that I can pinpoint right now, other than she was like a mother. Like I said, she was always the one that's there. She would just pop up. It's like she stand aside at a distance and scout you out and say what's going on, and then she present herself.
Mm-hmm.
And she would defend you.
Mm-hmm.
Because she don't take crap from anybody. And when she say, hey, you're messing with my little ones here, you know. No, it's not going to.
Not gonna work.
No, it's not happening. Just stand our ground and she have your back.
Mm-hmm.
Always did.
Yeah, so Valerie, what was your bigger sister like?
I'm going to defer to Joan.
No, tell him what you know first.
Well, for Judith, it was a tough one, and I know it was tough on Joan, but it was tough on me too. It's just that I handle things a little bit differently. I kind of distance myself, you know, when Judith, just for everybody, you know, she was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in January of 2021 and passed in July 2021. I miss her terribly, but I'm so grateful because people have lasted longer with pancreatic cancer and gone through a whole lot of pain. So although Judith was in pain, I would say 3 months of pain, seeing her relieved from that was hard, but, you know, it was difficult to watch and experience. But, you know, that was the first sign death had come so close to our family. You know, I know everybody can't live forever, but Judith did not live to see 60, you know. She died on she was 59. She was 59, right? Judith was a loyal friend because she met, when I did her eulogy, I mean, she and Heather Grant, who also came to Meadowbrook, they were friends from
Heather.
Birmingham Prep from they were 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Heather and Judith stayed friends throughout Heather's migration, etc. Judith was Heather's chief bridesmaid. All of that. The kids, one of Heather's children named his child. His child is what, about 1 now? He named his child Julian. You know, one of them who came to the funeral, I mean, I hope nobody overseas listening to this. He told him that his stepmother died and he has to come because he just started the job. That's how close they were. He said there's no way he could miss Auntie Judith's funeral. You know, they live in Georgia. Judith was very protective, very dependable, very reliable till death. And I'm going to say this. I mean, I'm the little sister, so, you know, I get away with a lot. We quarrel, fight, everything, and hang up phone on one another. And because, you know, no matter, all when I'm 100, I'm going to be the little sister.
Mm-hmm.
And so Judith, one day I was malicing her. Probably it lasted, 2 days? I don't know. It never usually lasts long. Malicing her, man. And Mommy was with me in Florida. And something had happened. And I was crying. So she probably heard when she was talking to mommy here. We're not talking, you know. It's what I'm to Valerie, what I'm to her, what I'm to her. What up, what up. She just and then, and I'm gonna say it every now and again, you know, you need a little loan. Now and again, you know. Judith is in the hospital. Was she in the hospital that time?
Yes, she was.
I said, Judith, just spot me a little 500 now.
Mm.
You hear what Judith said now? She said, of course she's in the hospital. She calls her, tells her daughter, lend your mad auntie $500.
No matter what. Yeah,
No
man.
matter what.
No matter what.
And she made sure she held on to me. She was hardly speaking. She says, remember, wherever you go, mommy's always, you know, always to have. I was buying a house at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, make sure mommy's room. Do you hear me? And she hold on and squeeze my hand. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was always thinking of everyone else. Her house was always the one that we were to have Christmas dinner. She was a family person. And she told her daughter this. She said, Adri, her daughter's name is Adriana, family first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so guess who was there? Listen, according to our brother, he will, her husband, he will always be our brother, no matter what. So we're all together Christmas Day. Her 2 kids, you know, they're in Jamaica now. And he has also taken it on. I think he called you earlier, right? Yeah, so Eddie is like a brother to us.
Mm-hmm.
He will always be a part. That's our husband. He will always, 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 no matter what, be a part of this family,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
So Judith taught us all well. She was, there were things, and I'll just say this as well. There were things that Judith was so thorough, especially when I migrated, especially, even before. But when I migrated, when Judith researched something I don't bother check, I say, okay, what bank you have? Okay, just use that bank.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who do your taxes? Okay, just use that person. I'm not researching nothing because she has done it already.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Very thorough, and she shared information well, and she was always, and she still is, I believe, still looking out for us,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? She was always saying, oh, mommy, always with you, you know, and whatever. My take on it is that I am the only unmarried one, so it made probably more practical sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a daughter late. My daughter is 16,
Mm-hmm.
and God know that I started high school in 77. Now you can do the math. I'm very grateful. My daughter is complete. She's a wonderful human being,
Mm-hmm.
and God helped me to take care of her because I had a very demanding
Beautiful
job.
child.
Mm-hmm.
I had a very demanding job. So, I mean, even, you know, certain things growing up, mommy knew more about my child than me because I was traveling and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the pediatrician one day asked me a question. And you know, may I go around the circle? You open, get back to the point. We have 2 hours.
No, as long as I go on, Valerie, not limited. As long as I go on.
I go to the pediatrician with the daughter, and the pediatrician said, so what is your daughter doing now, Blank?
You
So
don't
what
have a
she
clue.
saying now, Blank? Here, she turned to me and she said to me, next time bring your mother.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
so back to Judith now. So wonderful human being,
Oh,
as I said,
gosh.
very reliable, very loyal, and a true friend. So
No, when I saw the news, I heard the news on Facebook. I saw it. It hit me hard because I'd known all along, known Joan, because Joan, when I was in 5th form, Joan and I spent a year in 5th form together, I think I remember.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember all on it pretty well, and it hit me hard and said,
Yeah.
time now we'd put nobody in. But we're the same age.
Yeah.
We're the same age. And I look on it and I say,
Yeah.
so it touched me away and I said, it just, and I realized that them things that just come for you. You just don't know, you know? You just don't know.
Yeah.
You just don't know. So,
But let me tell you this: with Judith was we had this conversation that she was saying to me over the phone when she was up here in Florida. She said, Maureen, but you know, she never mentioned that she was sick, but besides, apart from that, she said, Maureen, this is what, because I was looking a job, and she says to me, Maureen, what I do, I work from home, and she told me the company that she work with, and this is what did, and she says, go online, and so she was the one who gave me this start. She told me what to do, how to do it, and she said, Maureen, it's good, and only to hear, I mean, we kept in touch, but when I get the news that she was very sick, and then she passed on. Oh my gosh. It hit me like a I don't really like talk about it, because to me, you face reality, but it's as if she's still around. You know, you accept it, but you don't accept it. Because she was such a good soul, a good person. You're never wanting to be away or not in her presence. It's one of those, Joan, Judith, you know, when you're just glad to see some people, those two sisters. Valerie, you came in later, so don't feel anyway. All right? But I'm just saying, Judith was always, and she was always there if you're in any need, and she can't help it. She say, all right, me take care of it.
Yeah.
I'll get back to you. Anything. She's always there. Like Valerie say, she's a loyal friend. When she's a friend for you, a friend to you, a friend in need, a friend indeed. That was Judith.
Yeah.
So you, Joan, you're not going to get to it. I want to hear what was your relationship like with Judith, because were you her little sister, or them look on that mirror book as us two sisters?
Not so little now, but yes, little sister. Because, yeah, your younger sister, she was protective. We're 10 months apart. But she acted like she was 10 years older.
Yes.
And
yes.
I remember I was kind of, not stoosh, but I was kind of shy. I didn't want to do something. I was lazy.
Sophisticated, Joan. Sophisticated.
Kind of, if you want to say. But I would say I was more lazy. I didn't want to do sport because I didn't want to sweat. I didn't want to look. So I remember in prep school, poor Judith, we were both Hucey. And I remember particularly in sports day, we were in the same house. No, in prep school. I think it was Roughne, the yellow house. We always lost, but anyway. Yeah, Sullivan, sorry. So on the sports sheet, the races that were to be run, Hucey would come up. So Judith ran her races. But of course, when it was my turn and Hucey came up, I went missing. Judith would be so angry. She came looking for me. I had to run your race.
They make her run 2 times.
Yes, I know. You're here hiding in the shade under the tree, and I had to run your race. But I just laughed. She was just so protective. I mean, she would always be there for me. You know what I mean? And I miss her terribly. Just as Maureen just said yesterday, I speak to her. I would just get up in her, hi Judith, you all right? Whatever. You with mommy. I know you're all right. But I would just say, it's like she's still here.
Yes.
I think because I was living overseas, she was overseas. I was in the UK, and we would talk every day on the phone. So if something happened, Glacier or Maureen or Margaret, something happened, and I said, I have to call. I forget. I can't call her. I can't.
Yes.
Call her. As I said to Valerie, I don't have nobody to chat you with now.
Yeah. Yeah, reach for the phone and said one. Yeah. Yes,
so
yes,
that was the relationship, you know. But my mother grew up a close family. She, as Valerie said about the no idlers on the door, extremely protective of her girls. I can't tell you some of the things she would have said about the boys, not on air. Glacier, I'd have to tell you that privately.
Behind the paid wall for that one. Yes.
But You know, it's very hard to say it in a proper way.
No, you can do
But put it this way. I'll say it this way with a bit of diplomacy. You remember Reds?
Yeah, man, Mr. Barnes around Bottomfield, yes.
Mr.
Yeah.
Barnes, and he had some cows down
Yeah,
there.
man, yeah.
Well, let's put it this way. My mother always used to say, if any of you boys feel a little,
Thirsty.
way, yes, Red's cows are down at bottom.
So should I tell the boy them that?
I'm going to interject one.
Oh my gosh.
She did say, first of all, she never remarried because she said she's not going to prison. Because if anybody even look, right? But anyway, what she said though is that she said she always spoke about a rusty machete. Apparently, a rusty machete. No, you can cut it. You can cut it out, Jason. That's fine. She said she would not use a sharp one. She would use a rusty one. Goodbye.
No, wrong with the rusty machete. But no, why you use the rusty machete? The rusty machete more dangerous.
Yes.
The Red's cow it was just hilarious to me. I mean, it was just so funny. But Valerie also mentioned she used the front door as a chalk, a blackboard.
A blackboard.
Yeah. But she went further. During exam time, no visitors allowed during exam time.
Yeah.
It was just so funny. So funny.
But let me ask you something. Let me ask you something quickly, Joan. And then you can take this, Valerie, and then Maureen. What was it like living so close to Bottomfield?
Good. Sports day was easy.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have to go to school. You made more friends because there's always something happening.
Mm-hmm.
And your house would be like, put it this way, if a girl had an issue, down at Bottomfield, they could come to our house.
Mm-hmm.
Boy needed a little lemonade on the way home from football.
Always have to stop this.
They stopped at our place. It was nice.
Mm-hmm.
It was just going home. Meadowbrook was home.
Yes.
Meadowbrook School was home.
You remember when the water tank used to overflow at Bottomfield?
Oh God, yes. That was like the boys used to go up there and shower.
Yeah.
People used to go up there after sports or football or whatever.
Yeah, man.
Douglas
School got some special memory about that water tank to say.
Yeah. Well, you know something I don't know about. I just know about it overflowing. Nothing else.
I'm talking about it. I'm going to listen to film podcast. I'm talking about it. Yes.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah,
very interesting. But Meadowbrook was the best thing that could have happened to me. I spoke to my dad a few days ago, and I said, Dad, I was very angry with you because I passed. I didn't know I passed. Common entrance had come. I was young. And when I started high school, I was 10. I was embarrassed because, you're the baby of the class, whatever. But when I did the common entrance, my teacher had said, just let her do it. She's shy, she's nervous, let her do it. If she doesn't pass, it doesn't matter because she has another year to do it.
Yeah.
Turns out I passed. I didn't know I passed. I saw Judith's name. I didn't see mine. So my dad was not consoling me. I didn't really care. I didn't expect to pass. So one of the neighbors shouted across the gully, because we're on Meadowway, the neighbor at Michigan Close across the way, shouted over and said, congrats on your 2 daughters. So Dad said, both of them. So he went back in the newspaper. He saw my name, but it was under St. Hugh's. And I was saying, yay, St. Hugh's. I put Meadowbrook on my thing. I didn't know nothing about Meadowbrook. And I cried. He said, no, you're going. Judith has passed for Meadowbrook and you're going. It's practical. It makes sense. And I thought, oh my God, I've never heard of Meadowbrook. What is Meadowbrook? It's the best thing that could have happened to me.
So Judith had chosen Meadowbrook?
No.
Neither. Okay, but she passed. Meadowbrook chose her.
I think we had chosen St. Andrews and St. Hugh. You don't know about the school, but you just know it have name.
Yeah, because even though you live
I
in a
didn't know
Meadowbrook,
anything.
you're right. I wouldn't
And we
happy.
went to Meadowbrook Prep. Why would we not go to want to go to Meadowbrook?
Yeah. Because I have
Right.
Meadowbrook Prep, you know, that's saying I know the school. I got to, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But so Meadowbrook chose me. I didn't choose Meadowbrook.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the best thing that could have happened to all three of us. What a school.
Yeah, man. That's why we can have the memories and know what to talk about them. So, yeah. So, you, Valerie, what was it like living? Well, you live, but I'll get into that. You left Meadowbrook in a. Oh?
Was held back. I think Grant as well.
I like a technical break, Joan. So, repeat.
Mm-hmm. Which part?
No.
The part about Mr. Top?
Yeah, go with Mr. Top. Start
it
back,
was
yeah.
recorded enough. Jelly.
Eh?
We didn't have the break. I heard everything, so it is recorded.
It's recorded. Okay. I was really just talking about you heard about the part with St. Hughes and me.
Yeah, man, go after that, yeah.
And then Mr. Top, I remember, I thought of what Maureen said about how good Mr. Top was with students.
Yeah.
He never really put fear in us. I was scared of Mr. Chin. Very scared of him.
Mm-hmm.
I just had to see him and I thought, but Mr. Top, you knew you had that respect, but I didn't have that fear. He came across as a fatherly figure.
Mm-hmm.
He was so good. He took the time, I remember, to speak to me, to say your grades aren't as good as they could be. And he said to me, we're going to let you repeat. I was devastated because I felt like an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
But the way he put it across, he said, look, you're young. Stay back and you'll do okay. And I thought, okay. And that's how Judith and I then were separated, because Judith went up, I stayed back.
And what grade that you repeated? Was fifth form?
Oh, no. I think it was fourth form.
Okay.
Because it would have been coming up to when you're going to have to do exams.
Okay, I got you.
Was it a third or fourth form? Adra Grant, I think, and I were held back. Valerie and Maureen have better memories. She said it was definitely fourth. So I will go with that.
You go with them, yeah.
Yeah. My memory not great. But Maureen, you're 100% right. I remember that story and it was hilarious with Mene.
Yes, it was Mene.
It's so true. 100. I'm glad you brought it up because that's a great memory.
You mean the one when Butchers pushed him in at the door?
No, the one where she said we leave the classroom.
Oh, leave the classroom. Okay.
When she said, all those who want to do maths, stay,
It's
and those
true.
Yeah.
I remember it. Yeah. And I remember Mr. Top coming and you talking. So true.
Yes.
Yes.
And I had to say, Mr. Top, why me? Why you
But
asking
it's
me?
true. She was very outspoken.
Yeah.
I don't know how you did so young and so outspoken.
Hey,
I
grew up, Joan, I grew up with boys.
Yes.
Oh, you had
So
lots
I
of
was
brothers?
one boy. Huh?
You had lots of brothers?
Yes, and then not just brothers, but the neighborhood.
Yes.
They all converged at our house.
Okay, I got you.
And so boy, I was the only girl.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, you must be
I have to talk up.
Yes.
I had to talk up.
You kind of get heard. You know, your mouth out. If you don't open your mouth, you go, yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. But Meadowbrook was the best thing that could happen to all of us.
If I had the opportunity to live my childhood again, Meadowbrook it will be with the same people, with the same teachers.
I remember Angela Chin, Herman Banks,
yes,
David Mendes, Anthony
David and White, yes,
Dennis Dunbar, Andrea McGeeshie, Douglas Dyer, Joy Richards,
Michelle Stewart, Michelle Gaynor Stewart. Yeah.
I mean, and that's just our class I'm going through.
Nigel
Ruth Whitelock, Kate Timberlake. Oh,
yeah, remember Jennifer Hawley, Ruth Whitelock's sister who taught us math.
Yes, Joy was math. Yeah, her sister. Yeah. And Ruth just lived on Meadowbrook Avenue. Blanche Bonnick. Charmaine Wilkerson. Meadowbrook.
Charmaine Wilkerson, yes. Jackie Lovell.
Special. Jackie Lovell. Yeah. Great memories.
Never
Mr.
faster.
Sherrington was a very good
Bonafide.
Good English teacher. I remember there's a story. I don't think it's true. It was Robert. Robert passed. No. Oh gosh, what's his name?
Who?
Yeah, it would have been when I repeated. Oh,
Robert.
No, it's not Bobby.
Okay.
Robert Carr. Robert Carr.
Oh, Robert Carr.
And he was so prim and proper, and he said, "Did you not have a cricket coach called Mr. Hoare?"
Yes, it's that PE coach, yeah, man.
Right. So he comes to school one day. He said, I had to get like a letter from his mother to say he couldn't do PE. And when he told her his name was Mr. Hoare, she said, absolutely no way she's writing that. Mr. Prostitute, can you please let I don't think it's true, but that's what he said. He made his mother wrote Mr. Prostitute because she can't call him Mr. Hoare. This is the thing. We remember so many stories in Meadowbrook that make you laugh.
Yeah.
Hysterically. It was something.
Yeah, man.
I'm so sorry, but I'm stealing that story. I am stealing that story.
I remember him point blank telling us about it, and I thought,
oh my God,
whether it happened or not, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Listen,
it still is.
I remember Robert. Robert would come to me and use his finger and rub it over my brow and say, Maureen, take off your eyeshadow. Why you? I said, wearing what eyeshadow? He said, girl. And he would use his finger and I said, you see me have on any eyeshadow? He said, Maureen, you can't so pretty and look and look like no, you have on eyeshadow.
Yes.
It was
But
something
Maureen,
with me and Robert.
I'm calling you out on this one.
Okay.
What about the teeth out days out of school? You gave that to me.
I was waiting. Hold on. I was waiting to talk about that with Milton.
I never knew about this until I saw Maureen.
Robert, yes.
After I got married, I hear about these stories. And a couple with Patrick Rochester as well. I leave it at that.
Lord Jesus, Joan, why you never just stay quiet? Anyway. Like I said before, I'm a tomboy. And you had Milton McCourty, Robert Scott, Roger Mullins, Bobby Shame. Them had matinee, Regal, or Carib. 2 o'clock matinee, yes. And them always somehow seek me out. Maureen, them have this matinee show at Carib. You want we go? And I said, ratted boy. It's trouble that now, and I said, no, man, we just go walk through the back of thing there, Mr. Senior, bye-bye, father, and go through the short cut and just take wait for the bus when it go around to Havendale to come back up and just time it. But little did we know that the next morning, our names called out in assembly. Dear God. Mr. Thorpe called us out. But you do the crime, so you have to do the time.
Mm-hmm.
I was guilty.
It's true.
So, Mr. Thorpe knows so no go in the theater?
Because somebody snitch.
Somebody bust down.
Somebody see the 6 away and out to the bus stop and I don't know if it's bye-bye father, go talk and say, hey, such and such a group leave school and the bus.
And you was the only girl amongst them, Maureen?
I was the only girl.
I'm Mr. Top, someone here for ask you what happened again? I never have nothing to say this time.
And me first him call out. My name was the first name, and then him call out everybody else. But me first. And all I can't deny it. Yeah. I just didn't say, did I say yes, sir? I did. I couldn't deny it.
Yeah.
It was just one Lopez, and when you call Lopez, it has got to be Lopez. It was good.
So let me ask you a question, Valerie, because you went Meadowbrook up the third farm.
Yes.
And I want to know hope you think about it. You may take on the name, Joan. Why did you leave Meadowbrook for go to Holy Childhood, and what was the difference like?
Oh, I went to Immaculate. Joan, I think, went
Immaculate, sorry, not Holy Childhood, Immaculate. Yeah, go ahead, sorry, yeah.
What happened is that all right. she said, she said, give me a top story now. Give me all right. Let me go back to that now. I did not, unbeknownst to me, I had a bad temper. There was one young man, Everton Duncan, Primitive, they used to call him.
Yes,
He's
yes,
in New York,
yeah.
All of that. And he annoyed the dickens out of me one day. Now, remember, our lunchtime was before, like, sixth form and fifth form.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember where 1D was. It was right beside the bathroom on the first form block. And unbeknownst to me, across from the physics lab. Well, when I tell you, Everton annoyed me the day, I just took up a metal chair and fling off them. And I kept on shouting, I said, stop it. And I was going out bad. And listen to me, I never even see through the corner of my eye. But I was being watched. Well, a sixth former came and summoned me. I'm still enraged, bawling, everything. And I was summoned over to the physics lab, and Mr. Top, you remember what I said to you about him? He said no fear and respect. When him, according to Courtney, dropped him nose.
Miss Hucey, yeah.
Yes, Hucey. So the man was even calm. You could hear it in his voice. He was so shocked at this little Miss Pris who fling a chair after a boy. I didn't hurt him. I must say that. I'm declaring that up front. And he said, your sisters have come to the school and I've never seen such behavior. I tried to explain myself, but sir, every time I ask him back for whatever I'm doing, this in him finger, which I didn't know was a bad word, by the way. and he wouldn't give whatever it was. You are to report to detention this evening. I'll be still a ball now. So after me must he calm down and everything, I said, all right, I forgot because I was like grade captain or something, I wasn't, unknown. But when I reported to detention, by the way, it wasn't detention, it was double detention. Guess who was in charge of detention that day? Miss Verna Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
So Verna Johnson did not teach me, but she knew Joan and Judith, the ladies of Meadowbrook very well.
Yeah, she used to teach history. Yeah.
Yes. And she was also the mother of, I went to school with her daughter. We went to Meadowbrook Prep together, and her daughter went to Immaculate.
Yeah.
And I came to Meadowbrook High, so we're in Meadowbrook Prep together. Anyway, she says to me, I'm shocked to see you here. Very nice, I said, who gave you the detention? Her eyes went wide. Mr. Thought gave me the And of course, the ball didn't start again. I don't know if me had to write one essay or lines or whatever it was. But after that, I learned to control my temper.
Yeah.
Anyway, what my mother decided, what she said? Oh, yes, my mother know, because she saw that little trait, even though that was first one. She said I needed that little refining.
Oh, you need to go and late to school. That
little refining. So, I was doing well at Meadowbrook. I really was doing well. Me and Grace Robinson, I forgot Grace. Grace was in my class too. And me and Grace used to always tie at one point. We were first for the entire first form.
And which Grace that Valerie? Which Grace is that?
Grace Robinson. She's from what I remember, I ended up seeing her when I was in pharmaceutical. Like she did neonatology. So that's Janice Robinson Longmore's sister.
Yeah, I remember the name. Yeah, I remember the name. Grace. Yes. Yeah.
She's a specialist doctor. So when I got up to third form, this is serious, when these teachers had so much respect for you. I remember Mrs. Owen. She was my English teacher, the same one from Wales.
Mm-hmm.
Who tell me if you go get 168? The woman draw me up. I got a 68. Now, honestly, I'm not accustomed to getting anything under A. The only thing I've ever gotten C for was writing. And up to this day, I don't write properly. I remember even on my job, when I'm doing appraisals, everybody could write it. I had to type mine. Because nobody could read my writing. So, and something came up, and then all of a sudden, we said, I wonder. And I went to, sister is so funny, but my mother is very persistent. And even when she went, she bought into it now, and she went with me to Sister Maureen Clare at Immaculate, and she said, sister said, we don't take girls in fourth form, 10th, well, she said 10th grade, they call it 10th grade. And so what's the problem, sister? So my mother fight for everybody but herself, fight for all her people then. She said, what's the problem? Sister says, we don't even have enough desks. She said, I have a desk. Would you like me to have it shipped to, carried to, delivered to the school? We have a desk if that desk is a problem. And by the time mommy done rub her down, she accepted me. And mommy decided, okay, it's time to cut your ties with Meadowbrook. I'm not even preparing a uniform for 10th grade. So I ended up missing like 2 days. And then so Judith came with me. My mother Judith came with me to Miss McLennan, because remember you have to get transferred and whatever. So make the mistake and tell Judith, see, when we're like, should I say, sorry for people and accept them in the school, Judith said, excuse me. My sister passed for Meadowbrook High, passed the common entrance for Meadowbrook High. You didn't have to accept her, and I'm sure she did very well too. So they organized everything, and then I got to transfer. But some of this, what I need to tell you is that I am bigging up Meadowbrook through what happened to me. I went to Immaculate in 10th grade and created history. I became head girl when I was in 12th grade. Nobody who never came to Immaculate, as far as I know, I heard as the first one. All the other girls, you should have seen who I went up against. Queen's Guide, honor students, this and that, whatever. All of these people, swim team captain, house captain. And all I did, I decided I'm going to make a speech that will reach everybody. I tell them how I come there with a whatever average in Spanish from Meadowbrook. I was an A student, and I came there and I get some 20% and 30% and 40%. Because sister put me in a class that was taught by a Cuban, and she taught in Spanish. A ball. Every time, I've never seen a red circle on failing marked it. And I said, no, me not failing, this can't work. I have to get on top of it. And I got tutoring. I used to listen to Spanish tapes, everything coming. No, make no Immaculate girl have anything over me. And it pushed me. And so I gave that speech, and I said, whatever you're struggling with, just focus on it, deal with it, whatever. And he couldn't talk about no swim team and no Queen's Guide and whatever. And, me never come there with no sports accolades or academic. I had my grades from Meadowbrook, which made me kind of very confident, and that was it. So when I tell you, I come in first in Meadowbrook, and the first time I was ranked at Immaculate as number 9. I was 9th because, I'm not saying there weren't brilliant students at Meadowbrook, but these are girls. When they did them O-levels, we did 3 O-levels, 2 CXC and 2 O-level and 1 CXC in 10th grade. So by 11th grade, I had 3 subjects already. I did 7 there. Anyway, I did GP, and then I did 4 A-levels and GP and all of that. But Meadowbrook prepared me. It really prepared me, and I defended them. I remember when I told sister that I wanted to go to graduation at Meadowbrook. I think it was one of the Warburtons that invited me as his Christopher, because Christopher and I were close. Good friends, and that was one of the people who used to, walk you home from school, gentleman, nice. And so I said to her, one of my good friends, and so she allowed me to miss a practice, because it was a big to do Immaculate graduation. You had to practice in your heels and whatever. So miss a practice is a big deal. But my mother always taught me, and I still do it, go to the top. So even though I'm a teacher now, I want something, I'm going to the principal, or I'm going to the district. I don't ask.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't expel right now, You just go to the top, because at the end of the day, you don't want anybody advocating on your behalf. You don't know what them going to say. So she go to sister, ask her anything at all. I was the only person who graduated in a bone white shoes. Same principle. I said, sister, there are no more white shoes. And when I had the money, all was available was blown away. She said, I will not. I said, sister, please look at it. She walked off and leave me. And then we developed a bond from that time because she respected me. So when I ran for head girl, we had to run, I mean, these are not reference, we had to be nominated. I had to campaign.
It means like an election?
No, man, a real election thing, man. Real election thing. Everybody had 3 votes to get the nominees. And then after the nominees, you had to campaign. Then you had to do your speeches and whatever. I heard all the teachers voted for me. Not all, but most.
Mm-hmm.
So the teachers voted for me, the younger girls voted for me, and my peers. So because I connected with them, because I think it was just the fact that I wasn't arrogant either. There was no place for arrogance at Meadowbrook.
Mm-hmm.
No.
The arrogant people were quickly put in their place.
Yeah.
That's right.
Meadowbrook.
So I think that humility has taken us through.
Yeah.
And we had, I think the teachers were very invested in us. I'm not saying I didn't have good teachers. I will not tell you anything. I'm very close to some immaculate people, very close to my immaculate teachers, and very appreciative. But what I'm saying to you, that balance came from Meadowbrook.
Mm-hmm.
I will. So not sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Valerie.
No, I say not sorry at all.
No, understood. I just didn't want to know you had left Immaculate. I didn't know that was the story behind it. Interesting. Didn't know. That your mother wanted to turn you into a lady, so yes.
It was finished in school.
Yeah.
Finished in school. There you go.
Yeah. You were the rebel in the family, yes.
Temper.
Yes, the temperamental one.
Yes.
Yeah. I hear you. So let me ask you now a question. You said this one your first, Maureen. What the most embarrassing moment you remember? I go to Meadowbrook, you can look back on with that smile.
Embarrassing?
Yeah. That you can't laugh about, you know.
I don't have, I can't recall. I don't think I had an embarrassing other than when them called me up in assembly hall. Because
you see, you don't see that embarrassing, right?
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
I enjoy school. And hold on, Mr. Thorpe, yes, I used to be in Mr. Thorpe's office a lot. Not because of giving trouble, because of my laughter. I'm very jovial. And when you have clowns like Marlon Gordon, Robert, Bobby Shim, and them crack them joke. Remember me tell you,
Yeah, laugh out loud.
Because at the time I was asthmatic, you find depending on how I laugh, sometimes I would get an attack.
Mm-hmm.
An attack would come on.
Okay.
So you find I developed a way to laugh, not to have shortness of breath and bring on the attack.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you hear it when I laugh. And Mr. Thorpe would stay in his office.
I hear you.
You remember? I hear me, and tell the prefect to call Maureen Lopez just because of the laughter.
Him know tell you.
There's only one person in the entire school laugh
like that. Yeah.
So when I go into the office and Mr. Thorpe pulled me about this, I said, Mr. Thorpe, I cannot help it, sir. I'm asthmatic. And this is how I laugh in order not to have an attack. You want me to get sick? And then you have to rush to the hospital, Mr. Thorpe. Mr. Thorpe.
All I can say to you, Valerie, when you go to Mr. Thorpe office, when you look you in a girl, when Mr. Thorpe call me in the office, that Thorpe him as Mr. Prince.
The king.
Yeah. I know you're not going to talk about to get cane in that time.
Them used to pat up them pants with them exercise.
Yeah.
And when them hear it, whap, hear me, yes, again.
Then your Martin and Baba and Butcher start about it, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So Valerie, you have an embarrassing moment you can look back on with a smile.
Which one?
Anyway, let me hear them. If you give it two of them,
All
that's
right.
good.
I just give you one, and hope he was involved too. I used to like writing poems, right? In fact, I write poems now for family members as a gift to them on their birthday. I did one for Judith, thank goodness, in January before she passed.
Mm-hmm.
But from that time, I did a somewhat hilarious one that was called Criticism or something. It's about this Christian woman who going on like she nice, but she criticized everybody in a church. My dear, that dress up so hot. It was some, prize giving or maybe it wasn't prize giving. It was like first form or second form when they used to have those things where they invite the parents and then we'd do something.
I know your talk. I forget. Margaret, you remember the name? When on a PTA meeting, it was like
no
parent teacher. No, them not them calls. I know your talk, man. I know your talk.
Yeah.
And there's a concert.
Right, so there's a little concert we'll perform for the parents. I decided I'm doing my poem, right? So I had it well rehearsed. That was my first experience with stage fright. It's my poem, You write it. So me walk now, Hopi, and I don't know if Judith was there, but you were there. So when we go on the stage, now me start off, can't remember the first verse. My mouth just open.
And nothing came out.
And not a thing come out. Hope then everybody wondering what's going on because I'm just quiet. Hope come out and stand behind the curtain to say it. Hear me? No, that's not it. So when we come off now, it was Miss Goodner, Miss Nelson.
What are they?
Me dear, me had on mommy wedding shoes when me couldn't even walk in, right? So me a drop down, me skate now because it was a little spike heel shoes. So me a drop here, Miss Nelson, she's fainting. So me just flop and went into it, full fainting motion, not a fainting. And then fanning me and saying, don't worry about it. You're feeling better than me. Thank you. I should have gotten an Academy Award for that performance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you. But it saved me. So I'm ashamed now. So they reached them in my class now, the next day. Right? I'm not on video, right? So I can only tell you this. The boys in the class, Valerie, look here. And all of them open their mouth. And so I did not live that down for probably a few weeks. And I have never gotten stage fright ever again. I've done presentations, I've done radio programs, I've hosted radio programs, I've done presentations to doctors because I said never again. So that was my most embarrassing that I can remember offhand.
And Joan, you have any embarrassing moment that you can look back on with a smile?
Absolutely not. Liar.
None, right? Behind the paid wall. Okay, all right. Behind the paid wall.
Joan, you remember our concert barbecue that we had, and you had Michelle Gaynor, Michelle Stewart, Neville Foster, Sharon Demacado.
Maureen was in that too.
You were a dancer.
She was doing that hustle with
You were a dancer.
Yes. Still love dancing.
You did. You're very good on the piano as well. A natural.
You called Sharon name a couple times, Maureen. You remember her sister? She was in class with me, Bridget.
Bridget Cussing.
Yeah.
Bridget Cussing?
Yeah.
They were pretty girls.
Yeah, they were sisters. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You had Bridget and you had Deirdre.
And Deirdre, that's right.
Yeah.
Did Deirdre go to Meadowbrook though? I don't think so. Deirdre didn't go to Meadowbrook.
or somewhere like that.
So
I don't know if-
that a younger sister?
It's Sharon, I think it's Sharon, Deirdre, and Bridget.
I didn't know
But I
Deidre
don't
at all.
think Deidre went to Meadowbrook.
Did you never? Oh, okay.
No, I don't remember. Right. I don't remember at
Yeah,
all.
did you know? It was
Sharon and Bridget,
Sharon
I
and
remember.
Bridget.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
She wasn't so lucky.
Yeah, right?
Look
Oh my God.
out. So yeah. But you're not talking about concert. Which and you take this one first, Valerie. Which song you remember when you remember Meadowbrook? Which popular song? When you think back at your time on Meadowbrook?
No, to be honest, there is a crossover of memories between Youth Club, Medhaven Youth Club, we did call it, okay?
Yeah.
You remember, and I remember at the time, Bello them, Donovan, Bell Nevis. I don't think it was with Bloodfire yet. I don't think Bloodfire formed yet, but he was a
No. I used to be the backup. When they were rehearsing in the assembly hall, I was the one playing the piano for them.
Okay. So I remember a particular concert where it was assembly hall, but as I said, it could have been Youth Club. Remember I told you that Meadowbrook is like a community.
Yeah.
So things like football, Spectrite stuff with Earl Gammon and Lester King and those guys, they were always on bottom field. And you had minor league, you had major league with Wagga them.
Yeah.
Until Wagga. A lot of things are fused. And at one point we didn't even go youth fellowship for Meadowbrook United too. So I don't know if the concert was
a school concert.
Song I remember Sai singing, and up to this day, remember this song? I'm not gonna sing. Baby Come Back, Any Kind of Fool Could See.
Yeah, man. Yes.
Everything About You. I love that song to this day.
Yeah.
But what I liked was a reggae too. You remember Boop Your Walk and Boop Your Talk. The parties were, I was lucky because I was younger than Joan and Judith, right? I would always walk to parties with them. So they had a whole, remember they did a house party and you all walk home together, then walk home the girls together. And I said nothing, nothing sinister, nothing, because we could never with mommy.
Yes.
We called her the dragon. No man, the boy them never messed with her. So they were very gentlemanly and they walked us all home. So I was lucky because I always went with them.
Yeah.
What was kind of downfall is that I was kind of developed as big, I didn't look my age. Me say, we go on party one time, man. And a guy, you have your little DP them. This guy come and dance with me, but I think he was much older. When I say much older, I mean like 19. Now I got called the name on air. He never went to Meadowbrook or anything, but he did live in Havendale. And me see, apparently, he said, come and sit down. Me fooling me must be about 11 or whatever. We go sit down with the boy in the dark. All of a sudden, me see this one here now. It was you, Hopi. Excuse me? Come here.
Wow.
But music was a very big part of our life. And then we still have this album collection. Hope you have them now. About 500 LPs we have. So we're a music family. But I remember the creativity. These guys were talented. I remember by them dancing Underworld. I remember that.
Yeah, I'm talking about that. Yeah. When him dance movie, man. Yeah, I'm talking about that group on the farm. Yeah.
Patrick Long too wasn't a part of that group.
And when name that Wagga brother Christopher Hunt.
Yes, Christopher Hunt.
Yeah. Baba, I talk about that. Yeah.
Yes, I listened.
Yeah.
So those songs, soul music, they what we used to call that, Rocksteady. I don't know what genre that was, like Rocksteady.
Yeah, Rocksteady. Yeah, the Jamaican rock the soul.
And the version. Remember, you have to listen to the version. That will get me on my feet anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Joan, which music stand out to you when you think about Meadowbrook?
Look, I'm 61 years old. I cannot remember anything in particular, but I do remember the days when the Bob Marley was in. You were saying something to get the first album or when it was out, and people used to have a certain walk. You remember that walk? You had to have a wash rag in your back pocket.
A chucky, them call. Yeah.
Yes. That's something that stood out in my mind. I wasn't cool enough to do it.
Yeah.
Maggie, she had it pat.
Yeah.
Alan Clark, I remember being a really cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, someone looked at who had the walk, naturally.
Yeah, man, like my yeah.
I kind of remember you too, you know. I'm not sure about Patrick, but I kind of remember you. But yeah, I more think of that era when reggae, Bob Marley, following that third world, that kind of music. Yeah. So.
And Maureen, which music stand out to you? Which song stand out to you?
The one that stands out is Native New Yorker, because that was the song that we danced to at the concert.
Yeah, that's like I remember the song at the top. Yeah. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, Native New Yorker. That's the one that's it stuck with me.
Let me ask you another question, and this kind of I've asked a number of people this question. And you take this one your first, Valerie. What you think can be done to get Meadowbrook past students to want to give back to the school? I credit one of the past students said to me, said, Jelly, start ask a question. And it's like, if you book up a Meadowbrook student, know what elevator pitch I give to them for say, why you want them to give back to the school?
Know that I'm a teacher, and had so many good examples to emulate. I think, and I didn't listen to Martin's when Martin was a guest, but I heard some of it when he was with Gary Chin and when he was with Bye-Bye. If we could, and this is for education in general, but leave no one behind, you know, identify challenges early, challenges in whatever way. I know that the school, because it was smaller, most likely smaller before, there are people who were identified who needed help financially. You know, there was a little line sometime at guidance by Mrs. Millwood's, right below Mrs. Millwood's office. And help in a tangible way. I don't know what they have now, to be honest, because I'm removed from it. Make sure people are having a good meal at the beginning of the day so they can learn. Identifying learning challenges early that have been missed or underdiagnosed from prep school onward. I don't know what type of different teaching methods they're using, but just, I remember Ronnie Place always said, I don't know if it was him who said it or he was quoting somebody, everybody can learn, everybody must learn. You know, yes, okay, I'm an auditory learner. You can say something to me once, so when I listen to the podcast, I can remember 90% of what happens, and I'm still that way now. So you can lecture to me and I will learn, right? Only if you're a little boring. But just to make sure that the classroom is representative of the different learning styles. I think Courtney Mark said he's a tactile learner as well, hands-on, you know, so just to be mindful of that. There was I think peer tutoring is very good, because I don't know if you remember Hoopy when Miss Archer, I don't know if she did it in your class. When I was in grade 6 at Meadowbrook Prep, I was, well, even before, I was a better reader than other people. And so I would get like a book ahead of them. So what they would do is pair me with somebody, and then we just read to each other. Why could that not be replicated in high school? You know, you want to know what can, let me see if I'm answering the question. Just ask me again. You want to know how to get them engaged and loving the school?
No, not necessarily the current students, or you get past student to get them involved.
Give back to the school.
Give back to the school, yeah. Or you get past student to give back to the school. Wait, that's it. Wait, that's it to a past student now.
All right, honestly, I'm part of ICHS Florida Alumni Association, and just the other day, you know, we have people much older, you have some younger, right? It's just to have a regular get together. And if I know that people, you know, I hear they get together, whether in Georgia or in New York, etc. How can you combine and have even an annual event where everybody gets together? Now, you might be having it, right? You might. But maybe through even these podcasts, set a date, let's say, okay, 2024, November 2024, we're going to have something, and then you launch from there, because we all have these ideas. There's so many different people with so many different experiences, but you just want one or two. You want one or two ideas to just stick, and don't work on too many things, right? But get us together. Get us together. With a purpose, and you make sure marketing was my background, so you make sure the podcast is great. You want people to listen to it, yes, but maybe a culminating thing at the end, near the end of the year, and you have the theme saying something like engaging our students or something more hit than that. Have a theme, start advertising from 6 months or before, or even from now. Get us together, because it might not be something we can do now, but certainly you have your plan and you have your rollout plan.
No, and I like that. That's what I think about it too. It's like we want a big vision, because I think Meadowbrook in a unique place, in terms of say, and by that I mean is you have a couple coming out this week, a podcast. They started Meadowbrook in 1961. That is even before I was born. I was born in 1962. And them love Meadowbrook. And the fact is that if we can find people, and Meadowbrook was a 3-year-old at the time. And I'm saying we're in a unique position that we can find people who start Meadowbrook at the beginning.
Absolutely.
So we can make that bridge. We can bridge a gap there. I don't think it.
No,
go ahead.
Sorry, what I'd also say is have it on campus. Do not have it at Pegasus.
No, right.
Right now. Go back in we still have the assembly hall.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You see, when you go back in the assembly hall, use the same stage and everything. Have somebody I'm sure there's somebody who can do that place up really well.
Yeah.
And bring back nostalgia. In the place itself where all of it started.
Yeah, man. Back to the base, as you say.
Back to basics.
Yeah. So, you have any ideas about that, Maureen, in terms of where I said to a friend who used to go to Meadowbrook and you want them to start contribute back to the school? What would you say to your friend? Maureen?
That's a tough one for me. Education wise, this is how what I think should be done, could be done. I don't know if it's being done. Yes, everybody can learn and everybody will learn, but how? Not every one of us are made to do the sciences. You have some who that's their strong area, but you have those who are strong in art. Now, when you start school, you have all these subjects to do, but it's not gearing you to the channel in which that you like. For instance, I love acting. I love dancing. I love the arts. But you're giving me biology, you're giving me maths, you're giving me this, you're giving me chemistry. When the headspace is not there for that. But if you give me painting, if you say do dancing, playing the piano, stuff like that, you channel the child in the direction that suits them, instead of giving them a curriculum that is just standard for everybody, and then later on in life they're seeking to find themselves. I don't know if I'm making any sense.
What you're saying, that one side don't fit all when it comes to learning.
Right.
Yes, and that is something that I've always wanted to sit down with somebody who can make a change. You know, that if you can identify a child that they're weak in this area, but this is not. Can I say, if you do what you love, you never go hungry.
You never work that day. You don't work. You don't work at all.
Because you love what you do. But it's like some people, for instance, now them go through schooling and they do them pass them GC, they go them do them degree because their mother and father want them to do that.
Yeah. I know what I'm love.
And
I know what I'm love.
do it,
Yeah.
but after then they put that down and go do what they want to do.
Yeah.
But if they had that from in the beginning, some of us, we get lost by the wayside because we were not channeled in that direction that you wanted to go. Because it's already set that this is what you have to do.
Yeah, and yeah, that is unfortunately some parents kind of force them children to live for them life. Instead of it is, I mean, I'm in a judgment, but that's the reality that is like.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
That's the reality. I was fortunate. My mother and father never forced me for the nothing at all. So I was lucky when it come to that. So, Joan, you have any thoughts on that question?
In terms of getting people involved?
Yeah, or you get all students involved. Where that set to them?
It's just a matter of, I agree with Valerie with the nostalgia. Because for me tonight, it just brought back so many memories. And it really gave me a warm, fuzzy feeling inside. And I think anything nostalgic brings people together. And I know Meadowbrook has done stuff because Nigel has reached out to me where there's annual stuff or not necessarily all year. And I contribute. I'm not always in the country. So if they're having something in Jamaica, I might not be here. However, I do know people would be willing. But it's just to find, I can't think of anything at the moment, but to find something where you would probably hang out at the high school. Because honestly, I have those recurring dreams where I'm walking on Meadowbrook Avenue or I'm in Meadowbrook High School. It happens every now and then. And I would love to go back. I would love to go back and see it, how it was, and remember it, how it was. And if we do have something, I don't know how big the hall is, or maybe we plan something where all of us get together and go back. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll have to think.
Sounds like a plan.
Could be a good idea.
Yeah. In the end, the memories are the only thing I go have. The memories, now I live with.
Yeah, memories.
Absolutely.
And also encourage the younger ones to make their own memories.
Yeah. I want to encourage them to come back their memories. They're not too young to hear them, but yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope we find something. Maybe we come up with a plan.
No, everything begins with a conversation, Joan. Everything. It's not no definite answer I want. I just thought them. But,
Yeah.
When the conversation goes out, it inspires some people to say, yeah, see what she has. Everybody, trust me.
Yes.
Everybody relate to somebody else, and everybody have a different set of friends. But it was, Meadowbrook was just one big place, everybody have a more like a clique with them around it, man. But yeah.
Because think about it, not even just the Meadowbrook family, you know. You found that other kids or other guys, girls would gravitate towards the school when they left school.
Yeah.
Remember who went to Meadowbrook? They'd be at the high school afterwards. They went to Meadowbrook. Gone to Pecca to get callaloo sandwich or and all the boys from all over, rich, poor, in between. Pecca. Them are eating Pecca sandwich and.
Well, let me ask you something, Joan. Did you ever eat anything from Pecca?
One time. One time.
You have to sample it. You want to know what it's about.
I could never let my mother know, but he had that the sky juice and snow cone. Yeah. And I didn't have enough money. And I think I took the one in my hand. And I never let my mom know because what that? Were your hands clean? Were his hands clean? But Sweetie Lady was my girl.
Yeah, that front. Yeah.
Sweetie Lady was my girl. I used to spend my pocket money all night at Sweetie Lady.
Yeah.
What I had left over by comic and Sweetie.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And you, Valerie, you were braver than Joan when it comes to Pekka?
Sky juice.
Sky Juice, okay.
And occasional sky juice. When nobody was looking.
Nobody now look. No, all right. So, Maureen, when you started Meadowbrook, Pekka was there?
I think so.
Yeah, I try and forget.
I do believe so, but I just don't have much recollection of Pekka.
Yeah. Pekka became an institution. Can come inside of the school after a while, and then because them don't want to lock him out.
Okay.
But then we'd have revolt and say, we'll lock down the canteen and say, no Pekka, no lunch. So.
The rebel.
Yeah. And then Miss McLennan, as I heard last week, Miss McLennan wanted Pekka to be there too. So.
Okay.
It was, but we never know that at the time. We just said no. For we who play sports, Pekka was a savior, you know.
Oh, yes.
I remember we had done play cricket late in the evening and we had go more on some feet and Pekka was always there.
Yeah.
Pekka not leave at all and all of it. But we may ask you a question, and you take this one your first, Maureen. How it make you feel? I bring up back all the Meadowbrook memories there after all these years.
Oh, elated, excited, wonderful. Like I said, when you sent me the yearbook in the email, oh my God, I had a field day. Like I said, I was right back at Meadowbrook, and I had this feel just like Joan. I wish I could meet them all again. If all of us from back then to now could just meet.
You mean all their friends in the picture?
Huh?
All your friends in the picture?
Yes, everybody. From straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bond. Yes. And the teachers, when they see us outside of school, when we became adults and living our lives, and they've never forgotten us. They've never forgotten us.
And the same question to you, Valerie. How it make you feel I bring up back all the Meadowbrook memories there after all these years? Valerie, sorry, start over for me. My network went down a little bit, so start over from the beginning.
No, I'm just saying that I feel fortunate. I feel blessed. I feel lucky. I went to a school with my sisters. I made friends at that school that I still have. It is serendipitous that I am here in Jamaica, and I think I preferred to do it in Jamaica. I'm happy I waited. Joan is right beside me, so although she said no at first, she said, ask Tootie, man. Tootie will do it. Tootie is so fun. So you know that they have that bond from that time. Because I think Tootie was even at the shower, Hope. Wasn't Tootie at the shower?
Yes.
So from the mere fact she could call, and when I said to Tootie now, because Heather is I think Heather is traveling, Heather Grant. So when I said, something, we're not going to wait, we're going to go ahead and do it. And then Tootie said you'd ask salesman, and then salesman said no, ask Nigel. But something, this is the way it should have been.
Yeah, man.
Exactly. We are where we're supposed to be right now.
Yeah, man. Whenever they're ready for come, the door always open for them, man. Always.
Hallelujah. Oh, yes.
Whenever they're ready for come. And you, Joan, I hope you like that name, though. So, yeah. How it make you feel? I bring back all these Meadowbrook memories.
Meadowbrook memories. It's just something that will live with me forever. That school made me who I am because I was extremely shy. If you call me in class, I didn't want to speak. I would get all sweaty and worried, and people would know that, but that's how I felt. My heart would be beating fast. But by second form, I was fine. There was that unit you had around you of the school, not just your class.
The camaraderie. Yeah.
The whole school. Like if somebody said something, or something funny, it literally went through the school like wildfire.
Yes.
And by the end of the afternoon, everybody knew the joke.
Mm-hmm.
True.
So that kind of feeling of that small little community of us as classmates and just people coming from all walks of life. I don't remember any arrogance. I don't remember
No.
any serious fights or anyone having any issues. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was there, but I didn't see it. And my memory was just going for lunch, having good teachers, having good friends at school, where you look forward to going to school. I don't remember any bullying. I don't remember anybody nervous to get up to go to school because that person going to tease you. If you got teased, it was in a friendly way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It wasn't in a nasty way. Somebody come with a short haircut, a boy get a... I remember, I think it was Wayne Clark who came to school. He was so slim at the time. We ended up working together at one stage. But anyway, came to school, had a really low cut. And you could say everybody was kind of snickering. But by the next day, it was all right. And that was, I think they call him Kojak, yes. But the thing is, it was friendly. It was nasty. It was, what a treasure to have attended that school. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
I'm happy that you're doing this. Because I remember listening to Doggy Crooks. That was the first one I listened to. And I said, oh my goodness. All that happened at Meadowbrook.
I never know.
I knew Doggy and I knew of Doggy and the things he said about the school. I thought, oh my word.
Yeah.
Very good, very good.
No.
I need to listen to all of them.
No, when you say it's profound, Joan, I think we have been lucky to attend Meadowbrook at the time we did, because
absolutely.
I feel the same way. It's like I don't remember the fight, I don't remember the bullying.
I don't.
And when I came here, I started teaching for about that, and I hated it.
I didn't even know you taught.
Yeah, man, here in America here, when I live in Orlando here, I started teaching and I just migrated. I migrated 2001. I teach for about 2004 I started teaching. That time kids were like, my younger son was just in fifth grade.
Yeah.
But I didn't like it because I said already use the nastiness just in the school system that's just different, man. Just
it's different. I feel for them as well. No. Because they have, as Valerie brought up, you walk home.
Yes.
Nobody doesn't trouble you.
No, right.
I mean, every second house, you know the person. You know what we used to do for summer holidays? Summer break. And was fun. You come out of your house, you meet up with your friend that live in the area and walk around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
The Ramses, we did it with the Ramses. We just walk around.
Yeah.
You feel back at the gate. And you just say, oh, thirsty, and the person gives you something to drink.
Yeah.
You don't know
that
is how my good was.
No, yeah, definitely. I worry about no security, I worry about nothing at all. None of that at all.
The only thing I'm afraid of the dog.
Yeah, right.
But you know what I used to afraid of? Because we used to sometimes take another shortcut instead of walking on Meadowbrook Avenue. There's a little shortcut to get you down to Meadoway. I can't remember. Whitney Drive. Yeah. And there's a little open lot.
Where jump over. Yeah. And what? Yeah.
The cow them I used to afraid. There was always in that little area and I said, oh my goodness, please Lord, don't make the cow. Because if you're late, you could cut through there and go there early.
I'll climb over the fence.
And you climb over the fence because they're at the gate waiting to take your name. And I kind of stood it, but I went over that fence a couple times.
You're lucky the camera wasn't around at the time, Joan. Because
exactly.
Phone camera, yeah. Would I put it on TikTok, yes.
Exactly. The good old days. And I climbed over that fence like a lady.
Of course. No other way you would do it, Joan. I know.
You can't say we never saw.
No, right. We don't have no camera for sure, Maureen. It's all right. You can't say that.
Take my word for it, darling.
Yeah.
Hey, Prince.
Yeah.
Let me Joan, I'm going to take you down memory lane right now. We left school, graduated, living our lives. Up in Ocho Rios on the North Coast at a hotel.
Repeat that quickly.
As
Start again, Maureen. My wife give me a little problem. But start from when you leave school. I'll edit. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
heading out, we left school, living our lives, looking jobs, going through the Gleaner, saw a position opening at a hotel on the North Coast.
Yeah.
As is it an entertainment coordinator, something like that?
Entertainment model, blah blah.
Something. I talked to mommy and mommy say, yes, check it out. Jump on the bus, man. I had gone to North Coast and gone to this hotel to go do the interview. Yeah, I did. Lo and behold, when I look, not Joan Hucey. Joan Hucey, and listen, the place was set ablaze when me and Joan woke up at this hotel.
Yeah.
It was something else. I mean, you leave school, at the time communication wasn't like how it is
Yeah,
now.
right. Nobody had a cell phone. Right.
And everybody big known and live their own lives. And you said, what's the likelihood of you meeting up at some place that you never corresponded with each other,
Mhm.
but it's the same job the two of us go for? You understand? You're away from done. That time, when we back up John, we say, yes. All right, that's fine, my friend.
Yeah.
When it's time now to leave,
Yes.
me and Joan, and it's how many other persons
A lot.
at a bus stop? We don't know to get him back, because Joan live in Meadowbrook and me live Owoy.
Mhm.
So we at a bus stop waiting to get a bus to come back into Kingston.
About 3 of us.
It's about 3, yeah? Yeah. And this gentleman stopped, and it's as if he saw these damsels in distress.
Mhm.
We weren't really distressed because we're the North Coast and we had a good time, did our interviews, and we're heading back. And you know that this man offered us the ride straight into Kingston, and he took every one of us home.
Never
Don't know.
tried anything.
Huh?
Say it again. He never tried anything. Just
Never did.
I'm not surprised. At
He
different
was
time.
good.
At different time,
I
yeah.
don't
Different
know the
time.
man's name.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what his name. I couldn't tell you what him drive. He took us to our gate. He made sure we got inside, and he did it from
Yeah.
each of us.
Yeah. I
Those were the days
never get fresher than now, no.
Never.
No, never did.
We didn't even think it was out of the ordinary for this man to stop.
Yeah, no, right.
Yes.
He was just being decent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where are you going? We're going to Kingston. Where you live? Okay.
I never take it no way at all.
Yes.
Right.
I wouldn't go in nobody care now.
No.
Not without the pepper spray, no.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. I'm glad you brought that up, Maureen. It was just the days we lived in.
Yeah, man.
And the thing what Maureen says, Glaister, is that we hadn't seen each other for so long.
Yeah.
But it's like I saw yesterday.
It's like, yes.
Yeah.
You could just make by the
When we saw
connection
each
right
other.
away. Yeah.
Right back.
Yeah.
I don't even know what we talked about, but we chat.
Yeah. I like when you never leave school, yeah.
We were like two peas in a pod.
Yeah, screaming when I saw
It's like you never. It's as if we never missed a day.
You never left. When you still there, Meadowbrook.
That is what Meadowbrook did.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember when Judith was sick, and Heather and Judith have remained friends. Heather and I, we talk, but Judith and her very close. And Heather came to the house a few weeks before Judith passed. And Heather came with her daughter, her grandson. And I was in the pool because I was staying with Judith at the time. And I would be in our room constant. She would make me lie in our bed. I would lie on the floor next to her. I didn't leave her side. And that day, my father came to visit. and Valerie maybe was there. I can't remember. Valerie was teaching, but Heather walked in. I was in the pool, and she just came over to me, and we just embraced each other and just cried. I hadn't seen Heather for a while, but that bond
never left. Yeah,
was like it just never left.
Yeah,
And that closeness I felt to her, she knew what I was going through. She had lost her sister as well, so she lost her mom. But that Meadowbrook bond, I don't know what them put in the water. I don't know what them put in the pot.
It's in the atmosphere.
Up under the hills, man. That special place. That special place.
Absolutely, it was just.
But
blessed school.
Bless it. But let me ask you something. Though. If and you take this one here first, Valerie. If Judith was here on this podcast, I know, what would she be saying?
Judith would be giving her versions of all the fun things. I saw different sides of Judith. When Judith is with Heather and Judith is her friend, she's a different animal. She's just relaxed. She's just full of love. And what I did mention, we quarrel a lot, right? So, Judith would be contributing. She would be, you'd be asking the three of us here. So we have given you what we think she would remember. Because believe it or not, that Buddha story, it was Judith who told me that Buddha story about Courtney Marks. I can remember, the different stories. Patrick Rochester did something too. And Steve Grier. I remember Steve Grier was Steve Austin. I remember all these things from them. So a lot of it came from both Judith and Joan, but Judith had her own memories as well, So that's why I'm able to interject, because they told me stuff. I didn't experience it. But she also had her own bond and her own love for the school. And she went all the way to lower six, She went to lower six and then she left and started working at her only job, Bank of Jamaica. She was there for 35 years, and then she migrated, because you can retire from BOJ based on tenure, not necessarily on age. So that would be it, and she'd be encouraging everybody to do something. She'd be there. But they all at her house. So that's what you would hear from Judith.
This is a memory of Judith. One day, Heather came to Jamaica. I hadn't migrated yet, and at that time I wasn't working. But they contacted me to meet them downtown at, is it Moby Dick? Is the restaurant?
Probably, yes.
To have lunch. And I said, sure, I'll be there. And myself, Heather, and Judith, and we're there chatting, and Heather is going down memory lane, and we're there cracking up and stuff. So when it's time, and just to the camaraderie, the closeness, the bond, I am ready to it's time now, because we're going to leave and we're ready to pay the bill. And I'm taking out my portion, whatever it is, to contribute. Just touch me quietly on my knee and say, no, Maureen, I got you. I got you. Yeah. Can't forget it.
Yeah. Before I ask you that, you have any special memory of Judith you want to tell us about, Joan?
Let me tell you, I said she was my right hand. That's my right hand. There's nothing, I had no fear, because she used to run my races in prep school, as I said. She was always there for me. I didn't have to think of who do I say something to if there was a problem, because I had her.
Yeah.
I just had her. And when I remember when Judith died and we were having our funeral up in Florida, I remember driving into the church and there was some big thing outside. Something set up, and I said, oh my gosh, it looks like they're having something else after Judith's funeral. because there's a big setup with food and all kinds of things, tent and this and that. So I said, oh my, I wonder what time that going to start. Hello, it was for Judith. It was for Judith. Her friend had put on the fabulous thing for her. Never wanted anything from the family. She said, no, that's not me. But my sister in Meadowbrook, I couldn't have done Meadowbrook without her. Having Valerie afterwards was also good because I'm in the middle. I have the best position. I have a big sister, one who will look after me, and I have a little sister who actually did look after me. She used to bully people.
Yeah. She was the rebel, yes.
She really was. But she was fun. She was good fun.
Yeah.
I remember also there's a memory of Valerie at what was it your shower, Joan? And Valerie was on her way to the shower. I was at your wedding as well. And Valerie was on her way to the shower and had an accident.
Very bad. Very.
The girl had an accident and she come to the shower same way.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it when she showed me the car.
Yes.
I couldn't believe it. But yeah.
Yes.
I had a great life at Meadowbrook and I had to have two sisters there.
Yeah, man, that's a special thing, man. We have
yes.
All on go school at the same time at the same school and then I walk at school. That's a special.
But walk school, but I mean, it was just I always had company.
Yeah.
Special.
Yeah. Let me ask you now, before I ask the last question. Is there, and you take this one first, Maureen, is there any question or any topic where any question I could have asked, the floor is yours, or anything where you want to bring up?
I don't have anything in particular because Meadowbrook is it has left such a mark on me that it's one that I have no regret whatever attending Meadowbrook, meeting and forming bonds with good people, the teachers, the teaching, what you left there with to this day, like Joan said and Valerie, that carried you and nurtured you and carved you out to who you are today. I'm eternally grateful for Meadowbrook.
Yeah. And you, Valerie, any question, anything I could have asked that I didn't ask, or anything you want to bring up?
Well, remember, I run my mouth, so whether or not you did bring it up, I'm going to bring it up anyway. So I don't, oh, you know what I would say? There's so many couples that came out of Meadowbrook.
Yes.
You know, I mean, even people who met up afterwards, especially people who migrated, and you hear, I remember Hucey saw somebody, I probably won't call the name, it's not a big deal, and she said, oh, that person looked like so-and-so. And then when she did a little digging, she said, oh, shoot, she was married to him.
Yeah.
Because and she never knew it was somebody that was in her year, Yeah. And then, you see other couples and you say, hold on, that person looks familiar. Hold on. So you have people like Jeffrey Walters, Gillian Keane. You have, Michelle at the time with Gaynor and, Mark with Melody, the first marriage and whatever. So you had so many couples that came out of Meadowbrook because, so it's. I think some of them probably transitioned from this kind of brother-sister relationship, friendship, to because you have so much in common and you can share so much. Just the wedding planning alone should be good. Yeah, and Patrick and Alison, remember too. So
my older sister, and I probably don't remember. She wouldn't have remembered her. She married somebody from Meadowbrook for a short while in the 80s. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And the couple that coming on the podcast this week, who started Meadowbrook in 1961. I call them Meadowbrook First Lovebird.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they know each other from first farm, got married, and they're still married. Yeah.
What?
Yes. Yeah.
I was about to say you should have a couple on or whatever, but that's great.
Yeah. Errol and Pauline Henry. So we can listen out for that one. But yeah, it's a great tradition. Good point that you bring up, Valerie. It's a Meadowbrook tradition. I don't know if any other school have it or as lucky as we, but yeah.
I have like the Alpha Georges, whatever, but they weren't in the
Same
same
school, right. Meadowbrook, as somebody said, Meadowbrook was all inclusive. We don't need to go nowhere. So, Joan, any question, anything I could I bring up or anything you want to bring up that?
I think bring a couple on, but you're doing that. So that's fantastic. I will be listening.
Yeah, that one come out Saturday.
I can't think of anything else because I just want the stories to keep coming. Because Maureen brought that up, and I could picture it clear as day when she said it with Miss Menon. So I'd love to hear more stories. I look forward to it.
Yeah, man,
and I'm going to start listening to every podcast now. I'm going back in the first one right through.
Yeah, man. I know. You know, I love full conversation tonight because you know, come on, and the girls, especially, I want to come forward more and realize, I'm not bowling a bouncer. That's what that's in a cricket. It's just a conversation. It's just a conversation.
Yes, it's just a conversation.
That's what it is.
Yeah, man. Wherever it go, right. Have a couple
Exactly.
questions. We just talk. I like we just talk like we're in the classroom or the book and a chit chat and a laugh.
That's how no, honestly, Glaze, I'm picturing you in the class as I'm talking. And you were so cool. But you know what you were? Bright. You act like you never know what's going on in the classroom, but if the teacher called on you, you knew what was going on. I always remember that about you.
Play fool for catch wise.
Yes. The quiet ones, them are the dangerous ones.
Yeah. But let me ask him the last question though, before I ask him the closing remark. All right? You take this one first, Joan. What made Meadowbrook magical?
Wow. Oh my word. Cliche would be said to students. For me, feeling a part of something that was special. You knew it was going to lead somewhere. As I said, Meadowbrook brought me out of my shyness. I walked in that school. I didn't want to go. I was nervous. And everybody just made you feel included. You never felt different. You never felt, you walk in, something never right on your socks, or you didn't feel like your uniform fit right, but you didn't feel like there was anything wrong. Just walked in and suddenly there was this protective, what would a cloak over you that protected you while you were there. That made it special. I never felt in harm's way. I felt there were so many teachers you could go to if you had a problem. You could confide. You had friends you would laugh with. It was a magical time for me. It really was.
It was like a home away from home. That's why I felt
it was, and I had a good home.
Yeah, man. Right.
It was not like leaving home. It's like just
right.
You just part of whatever you left back there.
Yeah.
And you left it to come back. You look forward to it.
Yeah, man. You look forward to go to school.
And what I remember is all the students never made you feel odd.
No.
First formers coming in. They made you feel like, oh, welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome. Especially with your house.
Captain. Yeah.
And people like that when you're going into the house for the first time.
Yeah.
I think Judith and I were both in Saunders, but you were in. Yeah. She picked up one person too. But Saunders was special to me. Which one were you in, Glester?
Rodney.
Margaret?
I don't want no for Margaret. Margaret looked like to drop off.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, man, I'm here. God, sure.
Margaret. Oh, you're here. Okay.
Oh, gosh, sure.
Yeah.
I would like to go over the history of that again.
You mean the house is them? Yeah.
The house names.
Yeah. And
Yes,
you
that's one thing.
and you Valerie, what made Meadowbrook magical?
I think the whole sense of community. It's like somebody drop a school in your living room, you know. And as I said, when you're walking past the houses, you know, you're going home and you're passing student homes. You know, you pass the Ramses, you have to pick a couple apple. Then, as I say, you pass Sharon Demacadam house. There was Margaret Chinquy to Blanche Bonnick right on Meadowbrook Avenue. So it's just like an extended family, I would say. It was really like an extended family, and some of us were coming from from Meadowbrook Prep as well. I remember talking to Ruth Whitelock, and she said, I will never forget you girls, because Ruth came from the country, didn't she? And she said she remember all the time walking home with us, and she used to live at Whitney Drive. She said we made her feel so, not Whitney Drive, that closed there, right at the end of Meadowbrook Avenue before it turns. And she said she felt so comfortable. She actually said that to me. Remember, I wasn't really in her class, right? So people knew how to, but you know something though, Glaster, as much as we're bigging up ourselves, it came from our parents.
Yeah.
If you listen to every podcast, either your parent or your granny, like Courtney, or something, and even their parenting allowed us to be who we are, and so we can't forget that, because and you had parenting at school too, because the teachers cared.
Yes.
Teachers, it was not a job, it was a vocation.
You're right. Absolutely
It was a
right.
vocation. And remember Mrs. Smith the Bursar had 3 kids going to Meadowbrook. I know Derek never went straight through.
Yeah, right.
But all of her 3 kids, Andre, Allison, and
Derek.
Derek.
Yeah. I'm trying to get Derek for bring on his mother for come on. I'm working on him through developing us. So yeah, I'm hoping to get that going. I'm here. My Wi-Fi every now and then trip out. Sorry, yeah. So
no, it didn't trip out. No, it was just a moment.
yeah, you take the question first. Good and Maureen, you're for the question. What made Meadowbrook magical for you, Maureen?
Everything. I endorse all that Valerie said and Joan said. It's everything. It's like it's a community. It's a family. You look forward to going to school. You might learn anything that day, you know, but just say look forward going to, or when you get into trouble. I remember one situation with Patrick Rochester. I don't know what it is. Patrick just did have a thing for just pick on me. And him pick this particular day. I cannot remember what it was. Patrick threatened me at school tomorrow morning. Yeah. And I don't remember which teacher intervened. Patrick threatened me, say, I want to see you do me. So, me coming back to school tomorrow. Touch me if you're bad. That's what I was saying. Patrick cannot threaten me, you know. I'm open them face and say, me, I come by, you think you pay my school fee? I'm coming to school tomorrow. Why you do me so? Touch me if you're bad. It's when I go to school, when I go in school, my heart I go book. But I don't make anybody know, like, I'm and Patrick in the same farm, right? And I go, I meet Meadowbrook man, and I go into the class. I just walk up to my desk, that nothing happened. The time I said to dare him, anyone ever touch me, it's hell. But we are friends today.
Yeah.
It's not something that back on and you say, oh, I hate that person. I can't take this person.
No.
I can't take it was never like that. And can I tell you, if one of us missing from school, when you turn up, they're all asking and say, but you never came to school yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes, you haven't. What happened to so I don't see Joan. What you hear from them? I need to find out. There was this sense of need to know, because you're not at school. Something must have happened. It made it so good to know that so many people cared, and like Joan and Valerie said, the teachers were teachers. They were caring. They were nurturers. It's not just a job. So you felt special. You felt great.
That's why I just say the legacy of Miss McLennan do, you know. I think Miss McLennan's spirit run through in terms of how she never make Meadowbrook. It was not job fair at Meadowbrook. It was like our family. And I think the teachers them where she inspire think the same way about like her. You know, when I hear her family telling her story last week, I realize where Miss McLennan, you know, she run through the school. But yeah.
Do you remember this song? Viva la company. Let every good fellow know join in a song. Viva la company.
Yes.
What burst out in that song? You know?
Who used to sing that song? Miss McLennan?
Viva l'amour, long live the love. That's what it means. Miss McLennan, Spano. I remember that. She had a soft heart for Saunders, you know.
No. Don't get me started on that.
But she used to sing that song. And that would be a good theme. Viva la company.
No, but Maureen in the class when we did some breakfast when we were supposed to sing Spanish at the concert.
You hearing that, Maureen?
No.
Wrap up, you know, and we're going on.
No, I didn't hear that.
No, I know Glacier wrapping up, but I did remember something with Miss McLennan where we had to learn a Spanish song for a concert.
Yeah.
I think it was end of year or whatever it was.
Okay.
And we didn't want to sing it. And we kick up ruckus. I remember Tanya Human and all that. Not singing it. We're not singing it. Call her everything. And we had to sing it.
I don't remember.
I remember Dwight Mendes and all of us singing. I think Ilsa sang a part, a solo. But it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun
Yeah.
again, and I'm glad she encouraged us to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry I didn't take Spanish as seriously as I should have.
Yes.
Miss McLennan, you're right. She was something.
Yeah.
Special.
You need to learn to roll your R's. Lopez, stand up and roll your R's.
I never go prep school, so I never know a word of Spanish. I know I don't know nothing of Spanish at all. So yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I'm going to ask you for a quick closing remark. Margaret, you there? Margaret? And
Yeah,
you,
I'm here.
yeah, man, give me a closing remark, and I go around the table and get a closing remark before I close out the program now.
Okay. I just want to say this was really a lot more than I expected, much more fun. I laughed a lot even when my mic was off. I really had a good time. Thank you, ladies. Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Yes,
Both of
any
you.
closing remark, Maureen?
I just want to say that I'm very grateful for this opportunity because you've left school so many years ago that you have not been in contact with a lot of us, a lot of folks. And this podcast, Meadowbrook Memories, I think this is a fantastic way of connecting. Because the camaraderie, the togetherness, the bond has always been there, which needs to come back.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get together once again. And if this is the channel, if this is the medium in which to do it, then fine. I'm lost for words. I really don't have much more to say. I'm just happy. That's all.
And let me use the right word, hope. Any closing remark?
Yes, Jelly. I am happy that I did chime in. Special evening for me. Memories that I cherish. I can see everyone in my class right now. And it's a good way of remembering my sister Judith as well. And it's special having Valerie here with me. And I thank you for the opportunity, Glacier. And I hope this podcast continues for many, many years, bringing many more memories. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Yeah.
And Margaret, thank you. Maureen, thank you. Special thank you,
You're
Glyska.
welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, Joan. Thanks for that. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. And Valerie, any closing remark? Because you are the one who made this possible. You reach out to me. I've been in dialogue for a while.
Yes.
And I appreciate you just finally said, I'm going to just do this,
Yeah.
Yeah, because from last year we're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
Yes, I was at a little WhatsApp group and we just couldn't get it together. And then,
Yeah.
well, I'm off. And I said, hold on a second, but I'm in Jamaica. And then I knew I could probably inveigle Joan to do it. But what I'd like to say is I want you to know Margaret as well. Maureen knows us. But I'll tell you two comments. One comment was Christmas Day.
Oh,
Daddy, we had a ball. Daddy came over. We encouraged Daddy to stay in Jamaica a little longer because he's in New York. And we said to his wife, can you come? She came. No, you have to understand that Daddy's wife, and he's probably going to listen to this. She's very intellectual. She has her doctorate and blah, blah, blah. You know what she said to us? I haven't laughed so much in a long time. And she said, I'll be honest with you. When we get together with my friends, we're all, trying to compete with each other, how bright we are. We just give you a joke. Nobody was talking about, nobody cares how much money anybody have, what them do, what they do.
It doesn't matter, yes.
One another. And that is just coming, well, first of all, from our mother, and Daddy too. And also from our experiences at Meadowbrook. If you hear Judith and Heather chatting, nobody talks about Meadowbrook. Nobody cares how big anybody's house is, nothing. And the second comment I want to make is I looked up the lyrics for Viva La Company. I can't believe it. It's by the brothers. I encourage everybody to look it up. It's sung by the brothers 4. Let me read this part to you. We're all together for only a while, Viva la Company. Sharing a laugh, a book and a smile, Viva la Company. Viva l'amour, viva l'amour, viva l'amour, which is long live the love. It's French, so forgive me anybody, I never did French, but that is so, I think, and of Meadowbrook, of Spanner and Mr. Top and everything. So that was Spanner's song. I remember it very clearly.
Yes.
So I encourage everybody to listen to it
Yes.
and sing along with it. And it would be an excellent, excellent theme for that little get together I'm talking about. Viva la Company. Okay.
Very nice. Very nice.
I'm glad you looked it up. Valerie. Yes.
I'm glad you made me go last.
You get that chance to go use up Google, I hear you. Anyway, ladies, believe it or not, I was there for 3 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Wow.
Yes. When I saw this conversation, I always set it for about 3 hours. I say, I'm not limit nobody. And the memories, them not a limit, But just make gonna come talk. And I appreciate
especially when it start flow.
Yeah. I appreciate. Let me close out this thing here. I appreciate you coming on. So let me go around. Margaret Livermore, Valerie Hucey, Joan Hucey, and I didn't know she had that nice name, Hope. Of Maureen Lopez. And Maureen, what's your nickname again? Tootsie?
Say that again.
What's the nickname again?
Tootie?
Tootie, yeah, Tootie.
Not Toto, Tootie.
Tootie, yeah, man, I got you. Yeah, man, Tootie.
Okay.
It has been a real pleasure for this conversation for me tonight, because when I started this conversation this month, at 2 years me under them. And at January, at 2 years, I never know, say, so much people are interested to hear me around half a mouth and attack. I want to come share them memories. And I appreciate that they're trying to come tonight. And it will encourage other ladies to come on and just say, just a conversation will happen. It just, we are easy the conversation is, nobody can come and say them not nothing to say. Because as you realize, Valerie never go Meadowbrook for the 6 years, and she have so much things to say, as we say. So, but yeah, it has been a pleasure, ladies. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I thank God for the conversation tonight, and thank God for that great school at 2 Meadowbrook Avenue bring us together where we can have them conversation after 40 years. Like we're still in Meadowbrook. I had to get a sky juice and pecker. I hear Mr. Tava drop him nose and say, Mr. Lopez.
Yes.
See me in my office.
Yes, same so.
Yeah, man.
Same so.
Ladies, this one was a blast. I enjoyed it. Have a good night. God bless us and God bless that great school at 2 Meadowbrook Avenue. And have a good night.
Viva la company.
night.
Viva la company.
Viva la company, Valerie. Yeah, man. Thank you.
Lux Vestra.
Yeah.
Right.
All
Yeah,
right.
let your light so shine. Yeah, man.
Right night.
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 Yeah, man.
All the best. 2024.
Thanks for listening to Meadowbrook Memories. And remember to give us all the encouragement you can on whatever social media platform you are listening. And special thanks to my production manager, Cameron Wright, who takes care of everything involved in getting the podcast out every week. And without him, this podcast would not be possible. It is his expertise that allows me to do what I love doing every week, having great conversations about Meadowbrook Memories. And he's responsible for everything else. So again, thanks to my production manager, Cameron Wright. Hello, this is Jelly, your Meadowbrook Memories host. Would you like to know how Meadowbrook won 7 trophies in 4 years in the 1980s? Purchase a copy of my book, The Startling Surprise, for a friend, a relative, or a student at Meadowbrook. Thank you. Check the link below. The views expressed by guests on this podcast are their own, and their appearances on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. While we will not add to statements made by a guest, we reserve the right to exclude statements or remarks that might be considered inflammatory. Thank you.